Alright. Remember last time we were doing this, shit kept cutting off. So we should be able to do it now without no interruptions. But if it does cut off again, you'll understand. Looking for the meaning of the title. The meaning of the title is, for one, many of the people, especially in the Western Hemisphere, have been being fed a dream. A dream of what? A dream of Jesus, a Jesus dream. And one of my roles is to make it be that that is no longer the case. So what I do is I challenge the Jesus construct and everything that comes with the Jesus construct, giving anybody the opportunity to step up and clarify anything that people would think that I'll be bringing people that would be false or not true in any way. And that way, if they're saying that they have the truth, they can present it and say, okay, this is how we have it. It is why we have it. It is how we know it. It gives everybody the opportunity to join the conversation. So here's the premise. The premise is there is no Jesus returning to earth to save Christians. There is no Isa returning to earth to save Muslims. That's not what the stories are saying. That's not what's meant by it. And even those who are out here pushing it know it themselves, but they know that the belief system is profitable. So I challenge any and all, starting with you in the comments, to let me know how you know that Jesus is coming. Okay, so let's start with the questions. First, we have, where did the Quran come from and who gave it to man? According to what they say, El Quran came from Malik Jibril, or Angel Gabriel, all right, sanctioned by Allah Ta'ala, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, all right, rendered unto Rasul Allah Muhammad alayhi salam, or the messenger of Allah called Muhammad, all right, peace be upon him. Now, do we know that? No. Everybody in here is born, I think, under 100 years ago. So we were not around to even witness it or be in a time where we could have witnessed where they would have first started to print the Quran, not to mention the recitation commencement, the commencement of the recitation where they started to share information and say that it was being recited fully, as a Hafiz will be able to do, to recite Al-Quran, all 6,234 verses or 6,666 verses, depending on who you are and what school you're coming from, that people were able to recite. So we weren't there to witness that. So do we know whether or not Al-Quran is authentic? No, we don't. Do we know what they say? Yes. Do we know if what they say is true? No, we don't. All right. Was Jesus his real name? Firstly, let me answer it how no others would answer it. If you're going to ask, is his real name Jesus? That is to say that he exists to have a name. You understand the trick there? Okay, cool. So you will have to be able to prove for yourself that he actually exists to have a name. And if you're going based off of the text alone, that's not proof. I would leave someone who will argue, well, according to the text, no, I'll just leave you alone. We're not debating the text. We're not prosing over the text. We will be substantiating whether or not the man exists. So is anybody in here that thinks that they can prove to me that the man himself, the flesh being, all right, exists, before we start speaking about what his name is or isn't? What else we got? That old Jesus coming is bullshit. It could be. His name was Isa, Jesus. Well, the interesting part about that is if you were to claim that, not to mention the fact that I just mentioned we have to substantiate whether or not he actually existed. If you were to claim his name was Isa, you would be saying that his name would have been Arabic originally and it wasn't, according to their stories. I don't think I know anything respectfully. That's a good stance. What's the craziest or coolest experience you've had? Being able to walk with people. There's no man in the sky coming to save you. Now, the other side of that is you don't know that. You don't know whether or not there's a man coming to save people. So just because they don't know doesn't mean that you know they aren't coming, because they could very well be coming. He was a prophet and the Messiah. He did miracles, brought dead back to life, and other miracles with the help of Allah, according to the scriptures. You have to start adding that on there. According to the scriptures. You don't know for sure. There is no Jesus. You don't know for sure whether or not there is a Jesus. You don't know whether or not a Jesus lived. See, you're taking two different stances as opposed to in a center. It's all allegorical. You cannot say it's all allegorical because a lot of it is literal, literally written as literal, and some of it is written in archaeological alignment. So a lot of people say that they studied it and went back and seen that certain things could have aligned with what the stories are speaking about. So not all of it would have been said to be allegorical, including things like genealogy and first eyewitness accounts and things like that. They were saying that that was actual, factual, like the epistles, all right, or the pastoral epistles with the dude who was called the pastor, Titus, 2 Timothy, 1 Timothy. They were saying that these were eyewitness accounts. Luke was saying, even though Luke wasn't an eyewitness account, Luke was saying that he witnessed some things himself. So that's not an allegory. You might be reading that from people like Charles Fillmore, who had that metaphysical Bible. But the whole of the Bible is not allegory, no. His skull is dirt doesn't mean he didn't exist. I'm here to learn because there ain't too much we know. Name something you do know. Should we worry about reptilians? No, you shouldn't worry about reptilians. Why? Because reptilian family is just a word that means whatever that being that will be referred to has reptile characteristics. So if somebody is sneaky and snaky, if you look at the anagram of that word, it's one and the same. If somebody sneaky or snaky or cunning or slick or subtle, that will be a characteristic of a reptile, namely a snake. All right. You have reptilian characteristics yourself as human beings. OK, you have organs inside the body. So do the reptiles. Right. Some people have scaly skin. So do reptiles. Correct. Some people have sloped heads as opposed to the crook in the neck. And so do reptiles. There's certain characteristics you can point to and say these people have reptilian characteristics. They're like reptiles in that manner. There are reptile tetrapods and human beings are tetrapods, meaning they have 4 limbs. You see, so if you have any characteristic that a reptile has, then you're a reptilian. So human beings are reptilian. They just using this word to say that they're lizard people, but human beings are lizard people. And according to science, all right, human beings are descendants of beings who were called the dinosaur people or would be called the dinosaur people or reptilians like the dinosaurs were supposed to be ancestors to the human race. And so you literally have reptilian DNA in your being right now, according to what science says, if we're going based off science, which we would be because reptilian is a scientific term, not a conspiracy theory term. They just started to use it later on down the line when they started to introduce all these fake whistleblowers, okay, that was supposed to be blowing up something in a direction of causing more conspiracy as opposed to causing more clarity. You didn't get clarity from Bill Cooper, Behold a Pale Horse. You didn't get clarity from David Icke. You didn't get clarity from Alex Jones. You got more conspiracy. That was their job, to make it seem as though they were going to come out and turn on the people who allowed them to speak for a certain amount of time. And you still have people like Alex Jones speaking. OK, and that somehow there was a conspiracy that the government was hiding. And then it caused a lot of people to just wind up in conspiracy loops. They never had clarity on any of the things they were speaking about. You see, so if you say reptilian now, you think of somebody that's sitting with slits in their eyes and sharp teeth, as opposed to knowing what the word means so that you can clear up what it actually is. Human beings are reptilians. Nobody can debate that. Human beings are also amphibian. Nobody can debate that. Human beings are also mammalian. Nobody can debate that. You see, so you're not just one. OK, that IAN means that you possess a characteristic like unto whatever it is that you're referring to at the front of the word. It's a suffix that's saying similar in this way, meaning characteristics possessing this type, this type, this type. So human beings are reptilians. Now, if they say, well, what about draconians? A draconian doesn't mean that it's a reptile. A meteorite could be draconian if that meteor came from the star constellation Draco and ended up in the Milky Way. You understand that? And if so, or excuse me, in the solar system of the planet Earth, if that's the case, then that meteorite would be draconian. You understand that? Right? Any other questions? Do we know when the Bible originated? No, we don't. No, we don't. They say X, Y, and Z, but it wouldn't be the Bible. It would have been in the beginning where they had the writings, they called it, or the books, they called them, or El Torah, or El Torah. They call that. You see? So no, we don't know. We just know what they say. No, we can't know. And then they never agree. You notice that? That's more of the confusion. None of the historians will agree on this, agree on that. There's always some derivative over here and derivative over there. It's never consistent across the board. That's more confusion. Then it becomes more sects and then more groups over here and denominations. All of that is confusion. You see, how you going to be this type of Christian and that type of Christian, and I'm Catholic over here, and I'm Seventh-day Adventist over here, and I'm Jehovah's Witness over here, I'm Hebrew Israelite over here. All that's confusion. You see, if I gave you the formula, and now you're telling me in order to get to the answer of C squared, it's no longer A squared plus B squared. Now you're telling me it's a circle, all right, that you have to slim down to become a square so that you can square it. And then you add the 1 and the 2, which becomes A and B, but then you minus the A, so it becomes the A and the B alone, but the B by itself now becomes the 3, but you subtract 2. That's confusion. It's A squared plus B squared equals C squared. You understand? So if I'm going for the Pythagorean theorem, I don't need to be confused. But a lot of people get confused because they think if I say I am a Hebrew Israelite, which doesn't really make sense unless you know what the words mean. If you're saying Hebrew or Hebrew or Ibri or Ibar, I'm saying I crossed over, all right? And if I am a Ibar Yisraelite, okay, I am a child of Yisrael, which is not his name originally. That would mean I'll be a child of Jacob or Jacob. Before that crowning, he wasn't named Yisrael. The crowning came after he said he wrestled with God or had a war with one of the angels and won. And he said, okay, because you triumphed, I'm going to call you Yisrael, all right, one who wrestles with God. Okay, so you go look up Jacob wrestling. The guy said, okay, if I am a Hebrew Israelite, then that means I am an Israelite or a child of Jacob that has crossed over and passed over lands over time. That's not a nationality, for one. So Hebrew is not a nationality. If you say an Israelite, that would be a nationality, but it would be based on genetics. Okay, so that nationality based on genetics would have to be proven to you first prior to you claiming it. You cannot use a prophecy to say just because there was a group of people that wrote a particular story at this point in time in this geography-based place, all right, around those people in that area, that just because that story came out of that, then that would mean it would apply to everybody in the Western Hemisphere. That doesn't even make sense. So whoever Jacob and them would have been, if they existed, they would not have been the only people on the planet. All right. But people think of it as a story, say the story must be true. So it must be the only people on the planet. Well, then why did the ancient Egyptians have an entirely different story and an entirely different account? You see, on the entirely different placement of the story. So if they're saying 3000 BC, this took place, and Christians are saying 3000 BC, this, that you see, there's more confusion. But Christians will say, well, we have the truth. How? How do you have the truth if the ancient Egyptians have their things written down prior to papyrus? Okay? The ancient Egyptians have their language written down or sculpted out prior to paper and prior to any of the other ancient Semitic languages that people are using now and saying that they have the truth behind it or the genetics that are carried behind it. Well, the ancient Egyptians' languages would be predating that according to what the historians and archaeologists say. You have to take it beyond what the religious scholars call themselves, all right, doing when they say they want to go find the information. Really, most of the time, it's just confirmation bias. They're going to say, oh, here's a relic, or some piece of wood that survived 5,000 years. You understand? Or here goes what they call it, a cloth over here, or here goes the Turin over here, and all of that's just made up. What they're doing is they're trying to validate their religion, and they're crossing over into the historian field. And a lot of times it's just rejected because you're not able to prove it. While they're still going back in their own timeline as far as these historians, and they're finding out that the ancient Egyptians predate all of the religions. The ancient Egyptians and their civilizations, even prior to the recording of their civilizations, because they will say that what you see now is a commemoration of a civilization that actually existed 10,500 BC. And then you would have had to count the fact that before 10,500 BC was recorded as a mark on your map or your timeline, there would have had to have been people in existence before then. And what about all of the ancient civilizations that would have existed prior to 10,500 BC and prior to 10,500 BC? Human beings that read and say Christians are the ones who have the truth, they have to look at the fact that the Christian doctrine only stretches back 6,000 years. And a lot of that time period, you were underdeveloped, if that's your timeline. You were underdeveloped. You didn't have the ancient technology or the advanced technology that the ancient Egyptians not only claim that they have it recorded on their pyramid walls and in their pyramidic texts that they have. And so Christians don't have an advanced history. You tell me ancient technology that the Christians had. They didn't have it. You tell me ancient advanced technology. Now, listen, they'll talk about the Ark of the Covenant, but then they'll say the Ark of the Covenant is what? An allegory. How did an allegory electrocute a man? Someone touched it and died. So if this Ark of the Covenant is supposed to be something that's allegorical, how did someone touch it and die? Let me tell you what happened now. If you go behind those transformers, and I'm not telling anybody to do this, but if you were none the wiser and went back there in those electrical circuits, especially with all that exposure, and you put your hand on it with no way to ground, especially if you're using your body as the ground, it wouldn't matter anyway, you will be electrocuted and killed. And people have touched those devices and transformers and fences, the electric fences, and died. Okay, if the Ark of the Covenant was some type of battery or device that human beings at that time especially didn't really understand about and have to be told of what it is and what it can do, it can power an entire civilization, yeah, you don't touch it. But someone ignored that and touched it to balance it and died. So they didn't have their own ancient advanced technology. They were borrowing technology from God. And whoever Nimrod and the rest of those great men would have been that came over and decided to show them about stargates, all right, or rocket ships or whatever the Tower of Babel would have been prior to its being called Tower of Babel. Because you got to remember, it wasn't called the Tower of Babel. The reason why they called it that after the occurrences that took place there was because of what God did, not because of what Nimrod and them did. God caused them to be confused. They weren't confused in the beginning, so it was not the Tower of Babel. That came after the completion of the tower, which would have allowed for them to reach up into the heavens, as they stated, and access the heavenly planes. That's a stargate, okay? God came down and separated those people, removed them from whatever science allowed for them to develop that technology, and then wherever the stargates will be now, whether it's the ziggurat that you find in Iraq, all right, or whether it's the stargates they were fighting over, Saddam Hussein, the rest of those people, whatever it is now, wherever it is now, they're not even talking about it. Now it's like, oh, the Tower of Babel just was done. You see what I'm saying? And they never were able to use it. Well, then that was still able to do what the biblical scripture in the book of Genesis, chapter 11, would have said it was able to do, which was cause for human beings to access cosmos outside of the earth plane. What are we going to do about that? When they're telling us that we can't reach God unless we die. Not according to the scriptures. According to the scriptures, so long as human beings have a scientific understanding of a universal language, which they call mathematics now, all right, or science, so long as human beings have that understanding, no matter what language you speak, you will be able to reach the heavenly planes. All right. That's why Spanish, that's why Portuguese, that's why African, that's why whoever could come together and build a rocket ship and get up out of the earth plane, so long as they understand the science. Correct? All right. So then human beings can access God according to the scriptures. You can get out of here. If the firmament was to stop human beings from being able to get out of here, then they would have never said that nothing would be restrained from them or impossible for human beings to do if they came together. You understand what I'm explaining to you? So don't say Rakia or the firmament is something that is impassable, meaning you're not able to pass through it. That's not true. Okay. We know for sure that according to the scripture, they say the sky was going to crack open and we roll back like a scroll. Okay. God and them can pass through it. Elijah was at least able to pass through it, and whoever picked him up in the world when he was able to get out of it. We know there's an exit and we know there's an entry. So if they have vehicles that you call now chariots of fire and all of that, they have the ability to traverse the magnetosphere and the different biospheres leading into the smaller realm of the earth, then that would mean that anyone who has that type of technology can exit and enter the planet and its atmosphere. You got to count that, because really you're on the planet. You're not in Earth. You're on Earth. Realize that. You see, you're not in the inner Earth or the inner caverns or Sheol, which a lot of people think means hell, but it just means places under the ground that you're standing on. You're not in it. Right now, you're on Earth, surrounded by a protective bow, if you want to call it that, your atmospheres that allow for you to breathe. And the further you get outside of that or away from that grounding place where human beings are set up to be able to exist, you're not having oxygen anymore. You see, which would be a problem for you. So even to traverse magnetosphere without the technology would mean you wouldn't be able to exist. You understand? Because you would die. This would mean that if I were going to leave this planet and go to another place as a human being in this body, like Elijah, right? Elijah went up into a whirlwind. Then whatever took him to the heavenly plane would have to be a vehicle that has oxygen on it or an oxygenated mask on it. You see? Or a bodysuit. You could call it a bodysuit or light body, whatever you want to call it. He would have to put something on to survive the trip because you cannot breathe in outer space. Well, what did they say? Well, what if it's water up there? You still can't breathe in water. So if they did truly separate water from water, according to the book of Genesis, where they spoke about the separation when they were building the firmament, if they truly did separate water from water, then you knowing that you can't go into the ocean and breathe and you can't sustain yourself off of the water of the ocean either, you knowing that would also help you know if you were going to point that in that direction as far as your travel outside, you can't survive outside of the plane either. You won't survive those waters. So if you believe there's water out there, you still can't survive. So guess what that would mean? Human beings, especially people like Elijah and Enoch or Enoch or Moses, if he was the one who transitioned out of here also without having to die. Okay. And Jesus, Asa, who transitioned out of here without having to die. Okay. Whoever these people would be or these beings would be, they would need to go to a place where oxygen was. And if you're traveling from the earth plane to the heavenly plane, our Father, which art in heaven, Oranos, all right, Orion, or whatever you want to say, you would need a place where you can breathe. That's a vehicle. You see, like a submarine has oxygen on it. You get me? Okay. The rocket ships has oxygen on it. You see, when they go in that space shuttle, oxygen is there, according to what they say. Okay. Well, then what would be the difference? Human beings leaving and going to heaven? If they get into one of the chariots of fire that God has, guess what that would mean? That God prepared a place for them prior to the preparing of the place for them. So there's risk before risk. They go into a heavenly abode before a heavenly abode. They have a haven or a safe haven prior to arriving at the safe haven. Do you get what I'm explaining to you? So what you're really referring to is space travel at that point. Are human beings prepared for space travel? Yeah, if they're able to take on the technology that allows for them to exist outside of their habitat. You get me? So what is the difference? Elon Musk, Elon, whoever you want to call him, he coming out with these space technologies, all right, with the ability to leave the planet or leave the atmosphere. People say they never left the atmosphere. You don't know whether or not they did. As far as you know, they're showing you these ships and you think that that rocket ship is advanced because that's what they're showing you. You have no idea the type of technology the government is really playing with. They won't tell you that for another 100 years or so. So while you saying something about the rocket ship exploding or it didn't get out of the atmosphere, all this other stuff, you don't know what they have because you can go back 100 or 200 years and see Hitler and his descendants or his ancestors playing with what they call secret weapons. All right. Or miracle weapons or miracle technology. Why do they call it that, Omari? They called it miracle technology because they were reading the biblical scriptures and finding certain keys. They were reading the ancient scriptures and not just the biblical scriptures, the Vedas. All right. A lot of people don't speak about that. The Vedas with the Buddhists and the Hindus, they were reading that and finding ways to build technology because they knew how to read it. Somebody had to show them how to read it. Okay. It's no different than the Quran. You got the Quran and people just read it and they think that when you open up and you have Fatiha, you say this is the beginning of the Holy Scriptures. They don't know that there's a codex that applies to Al Quran and it's out of place. That's why you have some people who just read it from beginning to end, and then some people read it what? In order of revelation. If I'm saying in order of revelation, that means that I revealed this. If I'm Allah, I revealed this to you in this particular order. But they recorded it out of order. So people, if they have the Quran, they're reading it out of order. You will have to know what the proper order is to get the proper message, correct? All right. If I give you Aleph, Lam, Mim, Aleph, Lam, Mim, all right, or ALM, if I give you these letters or what they call mystery letters, you won't know what they mean. All right. Just like Sud might be a mystery letter. Okay. You don't know what it means, but someone does. And that was held sacred. So these sacreds that people are using to go out here and start esoteric cults, online and act like they're Christ and Melchizedek, all of that. These sacreds were used to make technology. These sacreds were used to build new worlds. That means if I say, check this out, I have darkness and light, okay? What you might call a mantra or an instrument, a battery. You have mantra, you have mantra. It's two different things, okay? So some people have a mantra thing you're saying with your hands, being able to sign that. Even that was a mystery to show you toward technology and advancement in that field. And then you have mantra speaking about certain batteries or instruments that they would use to carry out or fuel those technological projects, okay? You go research that with people like Shiva, all right? Another master in physics, another master that they learned from to build what they built in CERN. You see, which is why they put the statue of Shiva out there in Switzerland. Go look it up. They put that statue out there outside of the CERN facility. Now, what does the conscious community do because they don't know any better? It's not their fault. What they say? Oh, it means that they're doing some rituals to open portals, and they mystify it, not understanding that Shiva itself, themselves, are coming through portals in their images. Shiva was moving around with a staff called a Trishul, all right, which was a destructive weapon. Okay, you got guns now. They were walking around with guns back then. It just didn't look like the guns you carry now. And they were more lethal. They were deadlier. They said light came out of their weapons that could destroy planets. You see? So Shiva would actually be more of a master than CERN. But what you think CERN is doing is mystifying it in a way that you are. But when they go and build their heavy ion collider and their large hadron collider, when they're building their weapons and when they're building their facilities and they're going and testing out their different particle accelerators, they're not looking at it from a mystical standpoint, but they still got that statue out there. You go to the average person in the conscious community's house or the spiritual community's house or the Christian community's house, and they got these statues in their house and they don't know what they're for. They don't know what they point to for real, so they just mystify them. The chakras themselves were speaking about organs in the body. Not just spiritual centers, organs in the body. And you have to know about blood flow and how blood flow affects those organs. And it goes into your lifestyle, not just how you breathe, your entire lifestyle. You see? But then they use those same types of points to build up machines. That's why you have Thor in the movies that they show you. What's the nigga? Not Thor, Thanos. And he has that gauntlet with all those gems on it. You see? These are pieces of machinery or technology. A gauntlet is technology. A magic wand is not a magic wand. It's technology. It has the ability to do things and is used to make a job easier. So if I want to destroy a motherfucker, I can use a wand to do it as opposed to having to use my hands. That's what technology is. So you got these people walking around with crystal wands, tell them to do something with it. And we'll wait for them to do something with it. And they can't do nothing with it because it's not technology. So you always like walking around with a gun you made out of plastic and you telling me you're ready to go to war. We're going to defeat the system. Defeat the system how? They start doing like this. You know that's the sound that the generator makes? Do y'all really want to go there? You want to go to that level? The Om sound is the generator sound. It's the sound of power. Okay. When we spoke of divinity, we were talking about power. When we spoke about divine emissions, we're speaking about power. The Kabbalah is a book about power. You see, I'm explaining it to you. Shambhala is power. Speaking of power, solar powered. You get me? So a lot of people are going around saying divine, don't even understand. It's pointing to technology, electricity, plasmic energy. You see, solar powered energy. All these different ways that you can use the energy around you. Free energy, quantum fusion, stellar power or stellar energy, which is just solar energy, but it's going from or coming from stars beyond the star that is right there outside. So the star that you're passing by, if you're using certain vehicles, according to some of these sciences, the star that you're passing by, you can use to fuel yourself for the next few solar systems, which is why they were worried about that interstellar 3AI. Okay, saying that it's going to pass right by the sun, and it appeared to be pulling from the sun as it moved. That doesn't mean that it was geo-effective or earthbound. It could just been passing through your solar system and using your star to power up as it moved through. Is it possible? Yes. What would God have to do? If God is coming to the earth plane, doesn't God have to take into account for the rotation of the planet? If God is coming into the earth plane, doesn't God have to take into account the revolution of the earth around the sun, the orbit of the moon around the earth, and the placement of the planets and how they align? God just can't zoom up to the planet earth and say, everybody come on. That would cause calamities. If you know how gravity works, all right, and if you think that it's not gravity, whatever you want to call it is fine. I don't care. If you know how density interacting with other dense objects works, okay, or movement of space in the fabric of space-time continuum works, you know when two big bodies move past one another, there's an alteration of their placement. So if God were to zoom up to earth in all its immense abilities and properties and stature, there would be calamity. He would end up destroying the ones he came to so-called save. It doesn't work that way. So then there would need to be alignments. There would need to be placements, points. It would be similar to what they show you in the movies when they have to leave the planet Earth in a certain way. This is realistic, by the way. And they have to go in alignment with the orbit and the rotation of the planet Earth. You see? So you could be looking at it right now and not know you're looking at it because the pocket in which God would have to be seated could not be right in front of you for you to see it, which wouldn't be just right in front of you. If you're on the planet, not in the planet, being held down by some type of gravitational force, then you wouldn't look up or out to see the position of the plane that you're waiting on or the mother plane. It would be either under your planet or above your planet. And it would have to be either right above your planet. Okay, would you be able to see that in the North Pole? Or right under your planet, you'll be seeing that in the South Pole, or leagues above and leagues beneath, in the way that when it's time for it to come down, it can literally come down to the planet, all right, without affecting the gravitational force or pull by going from the side. Am I making sense to anyone? I don't know if it's been explained to this degree yet. It's like saying you got magnets, all right? You put a North Pole to South Pole, okay? If you put a magnet on the side of it, it's going to push the magnet. If you put, do y'all get me? I think I'm making sense to people. But if I land in alignment and my ship also is magnetic and has magnetic poles, then when I land on the North Pole, I know which pole to adjust so that I'm not pushing the planet. All right. And I know that that same pole I'll be able to adjust to push off of the planet so that I'm not pushing the planet. I don't need to push the planet down. So I would need to align my north to south as I'm coming to the north. Makes sense. And if I'm coming to the south, I need to align my south to the north. You with me? I know it's never been explained before, but now you have the explanation. So you're not going to see it. You wouldn't see it, and it could be right here, waiting. You get me? Now, they call it different things over different time. They call it Quetzalcoatl, they call it Nibiru, they call it motherships, they call it whatever they want to call it. In different planes and Sham. Sham is just another way of saying UFO. So don't get too caught up in that. Sham is like saying that up there. Sham is also saying a sun because they look like suns to them. You see? So whether you're reading the Sumerian stories, the Hebrew Israelite stories, or the Hebrew stories, or the ancient Egyptian stories, they always said something was flying around up there. All right? Okay. Now take it out of the mystic field and look at it like this. Let's say you were a different government and you knew that there were people that were being tortured in a different continent. All right. Let's say you're on another continent. Continent is called Apsu. And another people is on the other continent called Utu. I'm just throwing these words out there. So you on Apsu hear about what's happening on Utu. And you say, okay, we're going to go over there and we're going to get those people out of captivity. You know, as you travel to that continent, they have armies or fleets in the water and in the air. So you can't just go to their continent. You see, regardless of whether or not those people are a part of your descendants or your lineage. You listening to me so far? Okay. And so this is why God has an army. If God was just some all-powerful being, he wouldn't need an army. You with me? God is not an all-powerful being. God is a group of extraterrestrials. And they would not need an army if they could just roll up on Satan and them. Revelation chapter 12. They said Satan and his angels fought Michael and his angels. Michael couldn't just beat up on Satan and his angels by his damn self. He needed an army also. So when they speak about Star Wars, listen, or wars that take place in the stars, the heavens, a war in the heavens, when they're speaking about that, you have to have armies to go to war. So God is not some all-powerful being that can just snap his fingers and delete everybody. That would be a problem. You see, when it's time to go to war. They said, no, he just wants to test you. It don't matter. He can test everybody up to the point where it's time to go to war and then show everybody who's God and snap his fingers. No, you don't know what you're saying. They have to go to war. You see, meaning there are going to be casualties. Some are going to fall. All right, on both sides. And then after going to war, then they can withdraw or extract whoever will be trapped on that continent. Stay with me. Now, when you have different establishments or empires or continents set up with governments, regardless of what human beings think or the main populace would think, there are governors that have to come together to talk prior to an invasion. There's a legislative part of war. Okay? You don't just start shooting. You write bills and pass things, and you have to communicate. You'll see Kim Jong-un and Trump speaking together. You'll see Putin and Trump speaking together. They'll talk together, and the soldiers might be preparing to kill each other, but the leaders have to talk to figure out, for one, what are the rules of war? What are the rules of engagement? All right? After the war, depending on who wins, what's going to happen? Okay? And what's going to happen with the surrounding places or homes or central bodies outside of us? How will they be affected, just so that we don't do the wrong thing to start a whole world war and won't nobody be able to go nowhere? So while human beings that are holding the guns with the camouflage on are just waiting to go kill somebody, the governors are sitting having tea and crumpets trying to figure out what they're going to do about their establishment, since they want to fight and go to war. It's the same thing with God and the devil. You read that in the Quran. Al-Quran was speaking about, in the beginning, the lowly being called Iblis being cast down into the earth plane, and anybody that was following him, they'll have to go to hell with him. But he was given a certain time. Before then, he even asked for it. He said, yo, give me some time. Allow me to be reprieved. Let me rest for a little bit, and then I'm going to go out into the earth plane, and I'm going to call everybody to work with me and join in my way of life, take up my eating habits, take up my mentality, all right, build how I build, work how I work, live how I live, and then we're going to show you that your way, which will be the extraterrestrials to you right now, your way is not the way they want. They don't want Yahweh, they want our way. You see? And Allah said, okay, cool, you got a certain amount of time. And anybody that follows you and walks in your culture and in your way and picks up your habits and your thoughts and all of that, will destroy them with you. They'll be sent to hell with you. The fire, nar, which is a weapon. You have to understand. Go watch the movie Knowing. They're showing you that it is a weapon. And don't let that miss you, because hell was released quite literally, phonetically, and linguistically on the planet in the movie Knowing as Helio. Helios, which is the sun. It was released as a weapon on the planet to destroy all life. You see, with the exception of the elect few who were taken from the planet. So, anybody trying to tell you that phase one is pushing some type of cult, saying that we got to go out here and save the world, they're lying. I'm telling you, no story says that the world at large will be saved. So don't think I'm out here telling people we got to go out there and save the world, how they say it. No, it would mean that if there's a possibility that there are extraterrestrial people who will be listening in on these types of conversations, any conversation, the conversation you are on your phone, whoever, those are the ones who would be doing the saving. So if they call you a cult member, all right, it's the same thing as being a Christian then, because they believe Jesus is coming to save them and angels coming to save them. Only difference is you don't believe it when you're taking a walk like this. You're just seeking to see it, whether or not it's true. And you have to put all of the books together to find out what is the common ground. There's a common consensus. And this common consensus is saying these beings called spirits, angels, Elohim, Neteru, whatever you want to call them, they are not from Earth. That means they are extraterrestrials. But somehow angel makes more sense to them than extraterrestrial, even though those angels are off-planet beings who come into the earth plane all throughout the scripture. That means angels are extraterrestrial. No, they come from a different dimension, whether you want to call it a dimension, a world, a place, a loca, an abode, whatever, that's still saying that it is not the plane you're in. You see, you're just using a different word. Okay, if I'm in Phillips State Arena and you over there in Times Square, we're in two different places. You cannot say it is Times Square if you're in Phillips State Arena. So there are separate places, two different abodes. That means if you come from Times Square and go to Phillips State Arena, you travel. And if we deem an extraterrestrial someone who comes from outside of Phillips State Arena, then that means Jesus is an extraterrestrial because he came from time. Y'all understand? But if you say this to them, it for some reason don't make sense. I don't know. But I'm like, okay, I'm showing you how you can actually validate your own religion, but you're fighting me, trying to make it seem as though I'm pulling you from your religion. No, I'm showing you how to prove whether or not it is real what they're telling you. You have to make it make sense. If it never makes sense, then you'll spiritualize it. You'll be under a spell. Okay, let me show you how easy it is to put people under a spell. Say, all right, I'm about to speak in spell words. You ready? Okay, cool. I come in the spirit. Now, depending on where you're coming from, your origins, your religions, your background, each of you just heard me say something totally different, even though I said the same exact thing. I only made one statement. I come in the spirit. Right? Some people thought about breath. Some people thought about some gas. Some people thought about Jesus. Some people thought about chakras. Some people thought about, you understand what I'm explaining to you? And it's one statement. Now watch this. I am God. Some people take offense to it, say, you ain't God. Ain't no, not from my Bible, you ain't. Some people say, yeah, all of us are gods. Some people say, yeah, he said he's in control of his reality. Some people say, there's no, because that's a spell word. God is a spell word. Spirit is a spell word. You see? And they use spell words. Who is they? Those who want to be in higher positions by keeping people under them. They use spell words to keep themselves up and you down. Because you'll never understand what it means. Because it's a sacred word. Sacred is another way of saying spell. Sacred is another way of saying magic. Sacred is another way of saying secret. You're not going to know what it is unless you know. So like somebody just said, yeah, the spirit hover. How does a spirit hover? Spirit is supposed to be outside of space and time. To hover is to be in position above something that does hold some type of construct. You understand that? So a spirit cannot hover in the third dimensional plane. How does it hover over the waters or home the deep? How? The spirit can't hover over the deep if it's outside of the third dimensional plane. You understand? You see how it's a trick? No, I'll tell you what can hover though. A vehicle. So the spirit of God or the vehicle of those Elohim extraterrestrials can hover over the face of abyss, the waters. That would be the inner terrestrial plane, okay, or Edenu, or a garden. You understand that? Meaning, before they build or form Barra, the earth, they would have a vehicle that allows for them to exist within the earth plane, all right, which is not really the earth plane. It would be the Mayim plane. Let's get it correct. The water plane, because prior to earth, Eretz, being produced or formed, that's the word Barra. What people say create is Barra. It means to form a thing. Before the formation of earth, there was water. You're going to read it. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. They never said they created water. You understand? In beginning, Bereshith, God created Bara Elohim. What? The heavens and the earth. Hashemayim. What? Eretz. Eretz is saying earth. But earth does not mean the whole planet, including the clouds and the moon system and the water cycle. And no, Eretz is when you walk outside and you touch that dirt, that's Eretz. That's earth. When they landed, they said they've landed on Eretz, earth, the soil. That means anywhere where soil or sediment is present, that's earth. You see? That doesn't mean the skies is earth, the atmosphere is earth, the biosphere is earth, the stratosphere, ionosphere. That's not earth. The water is not earth. The sand is not earth. The rocks is not earth. The soil is earth. Okay? And soil has to be good. They call it land. The land has to be good in order for vegetation, agriculture. You see, they notice they said they were creating the things. They said, this is good, this is good, this is good, this is good, this is good. All right. This is someone coming either to a new planet and having to form a place where they can exist and live. Well, you see God walking in the garden. God was there too. Whoever these creators or scientists were also. They were there in their garden. You see, they had to form a place where they could live. Why? Because they were not subaquatic beings. They could not, would not live underwater. How do we know that there are subaquatic beings? According to the biblical scripture, you go to the book of Amos, chapter 9, and you will read about the serpent that will be instructed to bite human beings if they so decided to pull an ocean gate and escape through the waters. Who are the serpents that will bite? Watch the movie Abyss, and they'll show you what that is like visually. People who live underwater, Aquaman. People who live underwater in societies. What was that? The Black Panther Way of Water. Go watch that. You see? So whoever this spirit or whatever this spirit would have been referring to a vehicle of some sort that could carry God. Okay? He coming with clouds. A vehicle that can carry God. Chariot of fire. A vehicle that can carry God. A cloud covered over them and a voice came out. That's a vehicle. How you going to tell me a cloud spoke? Clouds don't speak. We're not children. If a cloud showered over or shadowed over those people in the book of Mark chapter 9, all right, or Matthew 17, where you see that occurring, where that transformation took place, and you were able to see these people disappear. Who was it? Peter, and I think it was Peter. Yeah, Peter was there present, and Elijah and Moses, I think, appeared. It was Black Panther Forever. It was, yeah, one of them. It might have been Black Panther Forever. Yeah, it might have been that one. Yeah, thank you for that. Because I think that's where they had the existence of the civilization beneath the water. For sure. When you see these people talking about clouds shadowing over them, clouds don't shadow over. And they don't have the intention of speaking to you. So if a cloud pull up over you and you're overshadowed by a cloud and a voice come out of it, what is that? Just think about it real quick. Look at this image right here. All right. And imagine that whoever is driving this vehicle or piloting it, whoever's piloting this vehicle, they have to be of some form of intelligence higher than what you're used to. Even just looking at the technology itself and how light some of these vehicles are reported to be. Don't take my word for it. I'm just speaking. Whoever's piloting this vehicle will have to be aware somehow of whether or not human beings are ready to see them, which is why you don't see them regularly. All right. They will also have to be aware about airspace restrictions and things of the such, so as to not get themselves blown out of the sky. Correct? Okay. It wouldn't be no different from back then. If those who already were afraid of God back then, afraid of angels back then, afraid of extraterrestrials, aggressive toward extraterrestrials, go read the story of Lot. If they saw them, that would be a problem. It would cause panic. And God didn't want people to panic. So he hid himself behind a cloud. Hid himself or hid what? The vehicle. You look out and you driving on the highway and you see a vehicle look just that same shape, sitting by itself. Or you'll say a cloud. Let's say it like that. You see a cloud, that same shape, sitting by itself. No other clouds in the sky. All right. And it could be here on business and it could be a craft sitting right behind that cloud. Cloaked. You see? I'm not saying believe me. I'm saying this is a possibility that you should look into if you're interested. Because they mention it in the biblical scriptures. And still to this day, it's happening where people are seeing weird objects fly out of a cloud or fly into a cloud. You see? Now, if people weren't seeing it, they could call me crazy. They could call me a cult leader, say all this stuff. But people see it by themselves without me, huh? People are seeing it and reporting it. And now the government is talking about it. You can't run from it. So then the government is crazy. The government is a conspiracy theorist. You see, the president is a conspiracy theorist. They don't want to say that. So now they're going to move away from that conversation with all these other distractions. But the truth of the matter is this has been talked about before the government. So don't ever say the government created UFOs. All right. Since the beginning of recorded human history, there have been UFOs. They call them different things. Boats, arcs. Okay. Ark is just another way of saying arcana or arcanum, something that is hidden, a thing hidden, a secret. Boats, arcs, what else? UFOs, the Romans, flying shields or vases. They said vases were in the air flying. When the men went to war, they said a vase appeared in the sky and separated them. You see? Scared the shit out of them. What was that? Pegasus is a UFO. Okay? Whatever you want to call it, whatever. The Ezekiel's wheel or wheels. I don't know why I say wheel, but Ezekiel's wheels, that's a UFO construct. And they show it in the movies now. So the government didn't come up with UFOs. That's been here. You are just looking at it as what you call modern times. Modern, you know what modern is? You have a mode back then and you have a mode right now. Spell it out. Mode right now. Modern. That's just the mode you're in right now. So you're not realizing this same story has happened over and over and over and over and over and over again. You have messengers, you have celebrities, and then you kill them, you crucify them, you take them down, and you want them in prison and because they made you uncomfortable with the reality that they were showing you. And then because of that, you miss whatever messages would have come, and then your children grow up and do the same thing to their generations. Woke celebrity messiahs, XYZ. I mean, it never changed. It never shifted. Every generation, it happens. You see? And the ones who know what they're talking about start pointing your attention towards the reality of religion. Okay? The reality of the Bible. The reality of El Quran. The reality of Gita. The reality of the Pyramidic text. The reality of it is saying extraterrestrial. This is good news, not bad news. Why? Because if there are extraterrestrial crafts and God is real and God is an extraterrestrial group of people, then we can prove that to ourselves. That can be proven. We will be able to see them one day. Or maybe they'll pop up in our backyard and show us something. And we don't just have to hear about the NOI talking about they're visiting Farrakhan. That doesn't mean they're not visiting Farrakhan. Farrakhan said he saw the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in a UFO or in a baby plane. He could be telling the truth. This means that we could test it out. And so we don't have to just watch Stephen Greer and them not be called crazy because of their complexion and association with government whistleblowers. We don't have to wait for them to do Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. As a matter of fact, if you look at the badge that Stephen Greer uses on his left breast as the Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind symbol, that's our symbol. Go make me a truth teller. Go look it up for yourself. Tell me that's not our symbol. Tell me that's not the symbol that they called Dr. Malachi York crazy for putting it in the books. Tell me that's not our symbol of the tetrahedron. Tell me that's not the three suns, okay, surrounding risk. All right, or the provided place, a message that was sent through a crop circle. And Dr. Malachi York said, I know what that is. And he showed people that symbol. All right, that same symbol that Ye just used recently on one of his drone shows. This symbol right here. They use that same symbol as their Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. Of course, they just move the circles to the edge of but it's the same symbol. It's speaking in terms of a tetrahedron, tachyon energy. All right. And communication with people who come from outside of the Earth's atmosphere. Sci-fi movie creators are not crazy. They're just creative people with great ideas. Stephen Greer is not crazy. He's a creative white man with great ideas. David Icke isn't crazy. He's a scholarly, creative white man with great ideas. Dr. York is crazy. Do you see the game? They don't want you in it if you're melanin dominant. Because their fear is that people will start wondering whether or not there are other melanin dominant extraterrestrial groups of people who are far more advanced than the government. I'm not saying that there are. I'm saying their fear is that people will look and find out whether or not there are. You'll look and find out, possibly, that Wakanda is not a figment of someone's imagination. You would look and find out that when they show you the Black Panther parking his UFO invisibly, quantum stealth technology, in the hood, and the hood becoming inspired by someone who's far more advanced than the government, and the government can't really do anything about it. As a matter of fact, they tried to make it seem like Killmonger, listen, was the enemy. because he was saying, fuck that. We finna take this shit over before they come and try to do it to us. Right? And they want him to look like the militant one. And he has to go, right? And then they'll make the other one look like the good one that just wants peace. And he had a dream, but he has to go too, right? You watch both of them die in different ways, different forms, different fashions. And then the truth of the matter is lost. You see? Because when people went to go and see Black Panther, they were ready to dress up in dashikis. They were ready to dress up and put their afros and their fists in the air and all of that. You don't remember? I remember. But did anybody pay attention to Vibranium? What the movie was about? Resources. It was about resources, technology. That amethyst that you got in your house, do you know what it can do? That quartz that you got in your windowsill, do you know what it can do? Don't just tell me that you like how it feels when it warms up. Do you know that it powers phones? Do you know that you could build a weapon with it? Do you know when they got all these movies talking about plutonium, uranium, denanium, tyronium, all these people? It's speaking about technology. And once you figure that out, you'll look at things differently. You'll go into astrophysics. You'll go into robotics. You'll go into astronomy. You ain't going to be trying to be no astrologer. You'll realize that's futile. There are plenty of astrologers that came through prior to the arrival of your ancient ancestors, those of you who had those ancestors, those of you who had slave ancestors or prisoners of war, plenty astrologers. Couldn't none of them find out by reading the stars that there were going to be people coming to the land that were going to take over the land and kill and rape and pillage and rob and steal and set up their pillars, their statues? Nobody saw that in the stars because that's not how it works. You understand that? Astronomy. Study the stars. Study the technology that can be yielded and wielded from the stars. It's a real thing. Study solar powered technology and you'll realize, why am I walking around with this staff and I can't do nothing with it? But look elder. That's what they're worried about. And for someone to be able to take you on a craft, sit you down, and in a blink of an eye, teach you everything you need to know about it and put you back, that scares them. Because what will you be able to do? Take others and do the same. So let's say this man right here in the center, let's say he's Yanun, they call it. Let's say he's a Yeshua character that has the ability to take you from one plane to another, literally, from the plane Earth into a baby plane or a sham or a UFO or a craft or a Bennu or a Bananu. It doesn't matter. You don't know what it is anyway, so you call it whatever you want to call it. That's what it's called, a UFO. I don't know. Take you on that craft and do like they did, interestingly enough, in the movie Matrix, on the vehicle called Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar. What does it mean? Nebu is one of the sons. All right, go research Marduk. Son of Marduk in the ancient Mesopotamia writings. Go fact check me. And Nebu was being tasked with protecting the crown. Okay? Nebuchadnezzar. All right? Nebu, Nabi. Nabi is a prophet. Noble, gold. All right? Gold prophet. A prophet who comes of the sun, the true light with the real information. Spirit. Neter, God. All right? Or a master who comes with the true spirit, something that's real. Nebuchadnezzar, protect the crown, that brain inside, because the war is on your consciousness. If you lose that, Nebuchadnezzar, your empires will fall, destroyed by a rock. Nebuchadnezzar. All right. And on Nebuchadnezzar, what happened? They were taking Neo. Listen, Neo means noob, newbie, Nebuchadnezzar, renewed. Dr. York had an album called what? New, all about new, N-U, the primordial waters. Okay? Neo. They take Neo and they beam information into him and teach him everything he needs to know, just like Dr. York was saying what happened if and when Horus Harar would come and teach you. They take everything from him. They take everything from the masters and they put it in the movies. And that's, you're watching it and not even understanding their inspiration is coming from those who they ridicule. You see that? All right. So in the Matrix movie, he was able to receive all of that information in a split period of time. I know Kung Fu. Show me. You understand? How you know Kung Fu if all they did was put a because what is knowing? Knowing is just a piece of information. And so if I can inject that information into your being, you don't have to go through the process. You don't have to go through the You don't have to go through the process for that information to integrate into your being. And that's how trauma is passed to 40 million melanin dominant people using Alex Haley. I'll wait for you. The trauma of slavery that a lot of people think is their own was a program, they called it that, by the way, that went into the very roots of your brain. Sounds familiar to me. And injected images, if you're listening, of something that occurred to whoever it occurred to, if you understand. Because if I know Kung Fu, I know Kung Fu, you don't know Kung Fu. But if I know Kung Fu and I Kung Fu into your brain, now I Kung Fu and you confused by how you know Kung Fu, I'm confused. But now we both know it. So if my ancestors may have endured certain travesties, okay, and being committed crimes against, heinous crimes and crimes against humanity and X, Y, and Z and Z. That's my ancestry. But if I come and give it to you as an image, as a program, I run it to you. And so now when you think of slavery, you think of Roots. Roots was a production, a movie. It was made up. It wasn't real. The story wasn't real. They made it up. But that image of Kunta Kinte and all of that is in your brain. And now when you think of slavery, you think of we got to fight this, da-da-da-da. You're not still in slavery. That's a program replaying itself in your brain. Matter of fact, you wouldn't be in slavery because you were never in slavery. So what do people say, though? We were slaves. You were never a slave. You might have had ancestors who were slaves, but not all who were slaves were treated in that manner. Some people were slaves because they thought that becoming indentured servants was something that could benefit them and their family. Some people worked alongside their slave masters, which means they weren't slave masters. They were the ones who owned the plantation with the crops on it. Some Native Americans owned plantations, but when you say plantation, you think it means where slaves are kept because that's the program. And how does it wrap around? People say, where was God during, y'all remember people said it? Y'all heard people say it before. Where was God during slavery? I'll tell you. God was right above them watching. According to the Negro spirituals, the Negro spiritual means a black, meaning hidden, sacred, Negro, hidden message, spiritual message. Breathing, if you don't understand it. If I breathe on you, I give you a message. Negro spiritual, a black or a hidden message that not everyone would understand. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. What were they saying? For those who know, when you go and you got to get away from these devils, wade, not wait, wade in the water a little while. It'll get rid of your scent. Go under the water, wash it off you, and then when you hop back out, your scent will be gone. They're not going to be able to follow the scent across the water anyway, these dogs. So cross the rivers. You see? Wade in the water. But the nigga walking past, or the white man walking past, all right, or trotting past on that horse, just thinks that he likes what Negroes sound like when they sing. I love when they sing. You know what I'm saying? All right, watch this. Where was God at? Let me tell you where God was at. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Hold on. Swing low, sweet chariot. Hold on. A chariot is already the fuck low. It don't gotta swing no damn where to get to the ground from no high place to carry you home. However, if a chariot is a craft or a vehicle that you're observing and you don't know what it is, who it is, but you want to call out to it to ask for help, okay, you're going through the trauma that you're going through at that time, which is why you will be even singing that song. And there's an observer that you're going to say, swing low, sweet chariot. Come forth, carry me home, like Elijah was carried home by a sweet chariot. God was around watching. Go and look into the stories of those prisoners of war. They did speak of angels. They did speak of weird occurrences, weird phenomena in the sky, encountering different people that were weird and mysterious and tall. And they did. You better go read up on it. You go read up on the Native Americans. They did speak of Kachina, or people who came from the stars as master teachers. They did. They still do it. Go look at the Hopi. Go look at the Lakota. All right. Where they do those ceremonies where they got a man in the center that looks like an astronaut dancing. Okay. There's some tall figure. That's an extraterrestrial that they say came to them and said that they were going to return. All right. An extraterrestrial came to the Native Americans, according to their writers, and said, I'll be back. An extraterrestrial came to the Native Americans and said, I'll be back. An extraterrestrial came to the Native Americans in their stories and said, I will be back. Christians, y'all ready? An extraterrestrial came to y'all in y'all stories and said, I don't know what happens when you get to it's like everything makes sense. And then you get to Christianity, it's like, no, it's not the same thing. It's literally the same thing. They said, I'll be back. They said they're coming back. There are people in these tribes waiting for the return of the Kachina. There are people who built statues and leaned them such that they watched the skies for events to take place. One of the events in particular, the return of the star people. Star people. Heavenly beings. Angels. Angels come from the stars. Stars is just another way of saying heaven. You know that, correct? Okay. So in my Father's heaven, stars, outer space, there are many homes. There are many planets where different beings will be coming from at different times. And they speak about this all through. So if they have a whole military, and they speak about doing it now more, space command, like in the movies, to protect the earth from extraterrestrial existential threats. And they put in billions of dollars over time into UFO programs and communication devices and systems like SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. What you think they doing that for? Because they're watching and waiting for that return. Why would the government want to watch and wait for the return of extraterrestrials? Because they think, based on prophecy, when that happens, whoever God is or extraterrestrials is going to lay waste to civilization. Now, don't get it twisted. That don't mean that because you black, you think you special. Or because you white, you think you special. Because someone told you Jesus is white, so you thinking you good. And someone told you Jesus is black, so you thinking you good. According to the book of Amos, chapter 9, if you're going to go in accordance to it, you don't have to. But if you were to, at least to refer to it, they said they're going to sift through the nations and find their children. You can't say, I'm an Israelite. You can't be screaming at nobody down in 5 Points telling them they're an Israelite. That's God's job. The extraterrestrials have the technology to pull someone from their abode and go through their genetic lineup and say, based on your genome, you are one of the descendants of this tribe of Levi, or this tribe of Simeon, or this tribe of Benjamin, or this tribe of this. You can't do that. And you don't even know whether or not Benjamin exists. However, if we're speaking in terms of a people or the people, we could be referring to ancient Egyptians All right, go to the book of Isaiah chapter 25. Stay with me. Or 19, as a matter of fact. 19, verse 25. And you will find that it was stating about the different groups of people, the Assyrians, the Israelites, and the Egyptians. The Assyrians will be the workers of the hands of God, or whoever these beings will be. The Israelites will be the inheritance. They would inherit whatever these gods would have. And Egyptians will be the people, my people. Well, they all may be one and the same if you look at it, because they're all in association with God. Point being, God got to tell you who is who. You can't do it. So anybody telling you, brother, you're an Egyptian, they can't tell you that. They don't have a proof. They don't have the authority to tell you that. They don't have the technology to tell you that. Anybody telling you, brother, or sister, you're an Israelite, they can't tell you that. They don't know. Okay? Now, if they form their own religious groups or cults or sects, that's their right. They can do that. But that doesn't mean it has something to do with the real story. So all them Hebrew Israelites be out there gathering and yelling and screaming, and you never see a chariot of fire hover above them. Right? When you saw Jesus in the stories teaching, God hovered above him, literally, and said, hey, yo, this is my son. Make sure y'all hear him. These niggas been screaming. Jesus was just talking like I'm talking, speaking out of these niggas be out here. And don't nothing hover above them niggas and say, hey, these my sons. Y'all listen to them. You want to know why? Because those are not the sons of God. They're not descendants of extraterrestrials. And their noise is just as offensive as the noise was to Enlil. And it's going to be them same screaming ass niggas when they go down. It's going to be watching it go down from the ground, being destroyed amongst the ones who they tried to call Babylonians. You see? Amongst the ones who they tried to call Gentiles. You'll be destroyed also. It's only an elite few that they said would even be removed. So that elect few has to be contacted. They got to get to you. And you have to make yourself known. Now, do I have the authority to tell you who and what and when? No. I can tell you, if you're just waiting and praying, it's not going to occur that way. In none of the writings does it say that's how it's going to happen. There are people that are telling people that they're going to Mount Zion. Let me tell you something. You can follow these niggas to Israel again if you want to. What I mean by again? They done did that already. Follow these niggas over there if you want to, and you're just going to be out of your house, out of everything you lived and built, and you're just going to be over there waiting for nothing. You see that? Or do it. Maybe you're right. You right. Go to Mount Zion. Go to Israel. All right? You don't speak Hebrew. You don't know none of the languages. You don't know the customs, none of that. But just go anyway, because some nigga on Instagram said it. Go over there and just wait. Wait on God. And ignore the fact that they were speaking in terms of telepathic people who had the ability to learn a song that only the 144,000 can learn. You can't tell me that's Arabic. You can't tell me that's Hebrew. You can't tell me that you have to speak in terms of something that only the 144,000 can learn. And the only way you can have something that only the 144,000 can learn, that would mean that whoever God is will have to telepathically communicate it to them. Telepathically communicate it to them. Telepathically. Simple. Like in the movie Knowing, where they said only those who heard the call. The little boy said that. Only those who heard the call. He's saying you can't go. He was right there. Why wasn't the father allowed to go? He was right there. He made it to the pickup point. He made it to the pickup point. All the people talking about they going to get picked up, all the other stuff. Are they in tuned? You're going to have a lot of people, pay attention, standing out there waiting on a pickup. Not understanding, you can't go if it's not you. They already know who they sent for. Meaning, if they send the military in to get A-man, B-man, and C-man, D-man could stand there all day. He could say, Rohbat. He could say, Ashuk. He could speak the language back and forth. He could dance, do a handstand. Look, I can walk on my hands. He could do a backflip. He could do all of that. He could pull up his records and his deeds and all of that. She can be here, she could show that she could do gardening, all of that stuff. They're going to look at her with a straight face. So you're not on the list. What is the list? The list is called the Book of Life. It sounds good. It sounds mystical, but nigga, that's just the list. Like, that's just the niggas who can get in. You know, when you go to the club and you standing out there and you always got that one nigga, right? And he be for real. No, check again. I'm on the list. I can get in. No, I know such and such. Yo, Omari, tell him I was with you. Tell him I was right there. Omari can't even look back. Omari in the club. Yo. I was there. No, I'm on there. Ain't no way I'm on. And then you'll notice something will start happening. It goes from the sincerity and that whole mask to anger. I was on there. Let me on. You're like, okay. And they'll look at you and say, see? See? That's why the motherfucker can't get on there. And you don't even realize that that's what a motherfucker will do. They, you know what I'm saying? They get mad outside the club now. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck, man? Fuck all this shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to go in there anyway. Say, what the hell just happened? The sweetest person, right? It was a mask. Let them find out they not numbered. And they will show you how they'll burn it all down. I'm telling you. You better be cautious. Because there's people all around this motherfucker. It's telling y'all they Christians and pastors and da-da-da-da. That Trump is going to go off. Hey, man, you going to be looking up in the sky. You better look back around who the fuck around you. That's the turning. That's the Walking Dead. That's going to be the damn thing. Y'all waiting on the wrong shit. Niggas was waiting on an emergency signal. Out in the woods and shit, putting their phone in the microwave and in the oven. Get your damn phone. It ain't bake time. Waiting on a fucking sound like Amber Alert. Nigga, you better be waiting on that trumpet. You know what I'm saying? And you'll know the trumpet. That's the real emergency alert system. One of the realest emergency alert systems you got, nigga, is the sun. That motherfucker gonna come out. Watch. You already in June. You ain't even noticed it. The sun bullshitting right now. Watch what I tell you. That bitch gonna heat up out of nowhere, nigga. And everybody gonna say, this shit hot in a motherfucker. This shit hot in a motherfucker. This shit hot. What the fuck happened to him? Hey, man, quiet, chill. Oh, eat you. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? Hey, man, you know I'm joking, but you know I'm not. At the same time, nigga, that fucking sun gonna be reaching into niggas' houses, nigga. And you think niggas cool now because they got AC, but watch. The motherfucking Transformers get disrupted by one of them soap flares. I bet you bitches ain't gonna see that cool ass shit no more. You think you ran into mad niggas on the way home, nigga? What if they don't got nowhere to go, nigga? Hey, nigga, too hot outside for all that shit. Hey, man, that's your response for a nigga who done had it with the heat outside. Wait till a nigga got to say, hey, nigga, it's too hot. Every motherfucking way, nigga, is... Niggas got to shower outside. They can't shower inside. It's a hot box. Hey, nigga, I'm telling you. Hey, you might live to see it. Shit, nigga. They talking about pray your flight don't be in the winter. Niggas don't want to have their flight or they flight in the summer. That shit. Telling you something. You better look. You better pay attention. It's real. If your name ain't on that list, you can't get in, correct? I mean, that's just regular stuff. It don't have to be mystical. They mystify too much stuff. Just think about what I'm saying. If I have a list, nigga, and they sent me in, nigga, that's the fuck all I could do. You ain't on here. So when the dad was like, yo, hey, check again. The little boy was like, hey, they said you're not gang. You can't come in. You not VIP. You have to be VIP. You want to know what's another word for VIP? Elite, elect, few. Very important person. When they come looking and sifting through, they're looking for you. Now, what's worse than a motherfucker whose name wasn't on the list? A motherfucker whose name was on the list, and when they called and said, hey, yo, hey, Sanchez, where you at? Sanchez. It's Sanchez, right? Yeah, Sanchez. Where you at? Sanchez knocked out. He don't watch porn for the night. He gone. Missed it. What's worse than a motherfucker who name not on the list is a motherfucker who name was on the list and they had to say, moving on. Damn. I mean, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? You can move on from my name for anything else. All right, who on the list for $5 billion? FaZe? FaZe, where you at? Moving on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we giving some of these islands away. Generational wealth. FaZe? Moving on. Hey, nigga, I'm trying to tell you something, Hey, nigga, you miss your name in the book of life? Hey, we saving soul. You get up out of here. FaZe. You know what I mean? Because you ain't going to know you missed it until you'll know. You'll know. You done got that latest shit bags. You like, why the fuck the grass burnt and ain't nobody? Ain't nobody out here because, nigga, you missed it. That was your call. You got to know what's the real call. The NOI don't have the real call. NOI, I love y'all. I pick on y'all because I love y'all. Y'all don't have the real call. Y'all know y'all don't got the real call. Y'all done had the final call since my mom was 4. Every Wednesday you see the nigga, final call, brother. Nuh-uh. This ain't the final one. I thought last year was the final one, but we did it again. You didn't hear the swan singing? What the hell? No, you got to know what the real final call is, nigga. I don't know what the newspaper talking about. Nigga, it's a real final call. You don't know when the final call. You ain't got to buy it. Final call, brother. $3. Final. $3, brother. That's all. I'm not interested in the final call. Are you sure? You're not able to convince the shit out you too, nigga. How you gonna not buy some shit and say the final call, nigga? That's why that bitch so successful. They just keep doing sequels. Last one. Last one. What the hell, nigga? Last one, brother. Hey, man, I gotta get this one. Y'all heard what they said? They know they better be ashamed of their damn self. Gonna give you a last one with some bean pie, nigga. You done already bought the Soul Saver. Nigga said, you want bean pie? You know I want this damn bean pie. How much? Take this on the craft with me. You got an extra one? Yeah, nah, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know it's real, man. Hey, man, we gotta be able to see people who can who gonna be able to gather some people together and actually show a sign from one of the crafts. That's what we need. Don't wait till these white folks over here talking about some CE5 and shit. You know what I'm saying? See light lamps floating. No, nigga, when we gonna get some people together and show you how to get a sign from one of the crafts? When we gonna do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's possible, ain't it? I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Stay tuned. Anyway, because if it's real, but here's what you have to know. You want to save everybody when you learn certain shit. You want to save everybody. Let's do it like this. Let's say you can. Like, you have the opportunity to just save every motherfucking body. And you get everybody right there on this screen right here. You just get them all to the wherever that field is, everybody just arrive at this motherfucker. All right, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 UFOs, nigga. And them 3 niggas gonna take up about 2/3 of the space in the biggest one that you see closest to you. All right, you got 9 billion people. And you got 5 UFOs that can seat about 9 people each. Maybe less, nigga. Do you see my point? The boat ain't big enough anyway. You can't save every motherfucking body. You can't. So what that mean? What happens is the ego step in and say, well, if I can't save everybody, I can look like I'm saving everybody. That way I can feel like I saved everybody. You can't save everybody by looking like you saved everybody. What the fuck we supposed to do then? You're not going to be ready to hear this part. You got to save yourself. Ain't no glory in that, huh? Well, you pick. You want the glory of the world? Mansions, cars, clothes, money, good food, Instagram account, millions of followers, tapping on everything you show the screen and shit. Content creator, successful business owner, LLCs out your ass. You want that? Or you want some shit ain't nobody even been able to fully explain, nigga, but it got something to do with God. What you think people doing? Look out there in the world. What you think they choosing? Everybody is in a race to be the biggest content creators, the richest. They worshiping celebrities. They want to be in the club. I mean, look, everywhere you go. Real estate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everywhere you go. Essential oils, nigga, teas. You know what I'm saying? You don't see a world full of people that are deciding to remove themselves from society. When there are a few people who decide to do that, the world, which could just mind its own fucking business, is going to turn its attention to them 7 people and say, that's a cult. They don't even got to do that, do they? You don't got to look at these 8 people over here, these 9 people over here, saying that they going to live their life, do what they want to do, and they tired of that bullshit over there. You don't even got to look at them. You just keep doing what you're doing. Somehow, these motherfuckers stop what they doing. Everybody look at them people over there and say, that's a cult. Why? Why does that happen? Let me tell you why it happens. Because the ego in those 8 people still exists. That they want to show the world that they're saving themselves. I don't think you're ready. You're walking past the gate. And you're going to get further and further away from the noise and what is being said and what will be said. And so because they broadcast that they're saving themselves, they become a target. All right, let me slow it down for you. Your salvation won't happen on the internet. It's not going to happen on the phone. It's not going to happen in Telegram groups. It's not going to happen on the Instagram Live. It's not even going to happen if it's not going to happen. You will be tapped. And next thing you know is everything you knew ain't what you knew. That is the only way it'll happen. And here's what you can't do. You can't make up in your mind that you've been tapped. So it get a little difficult, don't it? If it's 101 people on this live and only 3 people are who I'm talking to. If it's 103 people on this live and only 2 people I'm talking to, that means those 2 people next year wouldn't be here because they couldn't be here on this live listening to me tell them about what to do when it's time and they're tapped. They won't be able to do that because if what is being taught is true, the tapping has already occurred and is pulling you from people. Now, everybody who done met me before, when y'all done came around me, all that, did I say, all right, we're done. Now everybody come live with me. If you know me, you know, hell no, nigga. Matter of fact, my ass will probably still the fuck lay down when you went home. Hell no, nigga. They'll never be able to. Hey, look, you know they don't even want to call me no cult leader. Cause to try to call me a cult leader mean they gonna have to sit and talk to me about what the fuck that mean, and they don't even want to do that. So it's like I don't even get no type of exposure, bro. USA Today, all that shit. Rashad Jamal like, I got another article. I'm like, nigga, stop bragging. They not doing no articles about y'all. Nigga, stop rubbing it in. I don't get no articles, nigga. They don't never call me nothing. They don't even say shit. They don't even allow me to do nothing. And if they do, it's like only I know what they saying. They don't ever say my name, nigga. That's not fair. I can't wait for a motherfucker to say something to me. They just won't do it. Man, please, TMZ, please say I'm a cult leader. They gonna wait till I'm fucking locked up or some shit so I can I can say something back, but it's gonna have that phone effect on it. I can't hit them as hard as I would. God damn. Boy, you know I'm gonna say something too. Soon as they do an article, I'm gonna be like, who that was? Oh yeah, see, what they saying is you can't do me how you do all these other people, because I'm not with that. See, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break it down, right? All right, so what they say? Yeah, we're gonna step by step. They know that they ain't gonna have that same effect, bitches. They'll probably wait till something happen like that. Y'all better pay attention, man. They can't call you no cult leader when you standing on the truth. They can't. They'll try, but they won't do it, especially this late in the game. They have observed me. My point is, when y'all be coming around here, do I say, all right, come live with me? Hell no. Go your ass home. Hey, man, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Them cult leaders want you to stay at their motherfucking house and shit. Nigga, I don't want you to stay at my motherfucking house. I love you. Shit, nigga, I don't want to see people every time I come down the motherfucking steps. Nigga, god damn. How many times I'm going to say Rahu back in one day, nigga? I'm tired. Go your ass home. I love you, though. Shit, nigga. Damn. I only did 1 5-day shit, nigga. I said, hell no, nigga. Every other motherfucking time been 2 days. Shit. Hell, as you said, I don't know what fuck they talking about cult leaders. Hell no, nigga. I don't even like folk in my motherfucking face, so how the fuck I'm gonna be a cult leader? Nigga bowing down to me. That made me uncomfortable, nigga. I don't know what the hell you finna fucking do, but you gotta get the fuck off your knees from in front of me, nigga. The hell, hey. You ain't seen me slap nobody head faster than motherfucker and got on his knee without announcing his damn self. Hey, nigga, fuck is you doing? No, I was just worshiping you. I don't even like how that sound. Not in today's climate with all this extra shit they got going around, nigga. I can't have no nigga bowing down to me. Hell no, nigga. Hey, tomorrow they God. Nigga, I ain't God. God got responsibility. I be putting shit off on a motherfucker real quick. Hey, check this out. I'ma bestow this upon you. Hell no, nigga. I'm going to bestow groceries on your ass real quick, nigga. I don't want to run all this stupid shit. I don't have way to know what the fuck this shit is. Y'all be thinking it's me. How the fuck I know all the shit I just said on the damn live, nigga? Hell nah, nigga. I bestow groceries upon you. Nigga be elated in a bitch. Go get them. I don't want to go get them. I don't like walking down aisles for anybody other than my damn self. Nigga, do I got children? And you done heard me say I don't want no motherfucking children. I don't want no little children who can't do shit. But I want to go get some grown children with some opinions and fucking bills and hell nah, nigga. I don't know hell, no hell. No, the sisters at one point were talking about they were going to all be in this motherfucker. I started calculating real quick. I said, nah, so let's have a meeting. Hey, hell nah, nigga. I ain't finna be dealing with 17 sisters in one motherfucking house. I don't give a damn who y'all is. I love y'all. Hell nah, nigga. I ain't finna be watching the calendar 17 days out the motherfucking month to mark 7 days off of each 17th point. Nigga, I don't got the capacity or the bandwidth to deal with that shit. Nigga, this is real. Hell nah, I love y'all, but go home. What the fuck? I love y'all, but go the fuck home. I can't deal with 17 quiet motherfuckers in the kitchen just aggressively putting up groceries. I don't know whether or not I'm safe or dead. Hell no, nigga, that's 17. No. I love you, but go your ass home. What you talking about? Shit, nigga, I don't run no damn cult. You must be out your motherfucking mind. I don't even like motherfuckers dressing like me. Everybody supposed to always wear the same shit. Nigga, we gonna do this shit once every 5 months. Nigga, ain't nobody got time for all this shit. Nigga, I like to be fresh. I told everybody, hey, we wearing red and black. I popped up with blue. I don't give a fuck what you think. Nigga, this my shit. The hell nah, nigga. I ain't finna be dressing everybody the motherfucking same way, everybody the motherfucking same time. What the hell got these folks thinking I'm running a damn car? Got no time for this stupid shit, nigga. I know what the motherfucking code is. I done seen that shit on the news, nigga. The hell? The fuck? I don't got no time for all that stupid shit. Claiming I'm one of the damn elders and shit. Nigga, I don't got time for that. The fuck? It's only 23 elders and niggas done claimed enough for them for 3 times multiple. I don't understand how you do that. That got to be against the rules, but damn. They say, who do you claim to be? Shit, nigga, my name Omari. Nigga, I don't got time for that extra shit. I'm just great as fuck. Why that mean I gotta be a damn alien? Hell nah, nigga. You could be great as hell as a human being. Shit, I ain't got time for that stupid shit. I don't got no damn doctrine. Nigga wanna come on here and yell at me with a bump on their damn head, literally signifying they don't bump their damn head. Where your doctrine? I don't have no damn doctrine, nigga. I can't play with y'all. The fuck, nigga? What the hell I look like with a damn doctrine? That shit sound weird as hell, nigga. I don't got no damn doctrine, nigga. The fuck? How am I have a damn doctrine and my license suspended? Nigga, I can't even drive and tell you that I'm hopping out the passenger seat recruiting niggas. Hell no, nigga. I'm like a damn drug dealer, nigga. I don't got no damn doctrine, nigga. The fuck? Hell nah, nigga. The fuck I look like with a doctrine and I got a phone bill, nigga. Hell nah, nigga. Put my name in the fucking Constitution I wrote up and then I pay Metro. That don't sound like no cool ass shit. I don't want no damn doctrine, nigga. I don't got no land. I got a damn doctrine in an apartment complex and shit. Niggas gotta drive to building 1. Hell nah, come up the steps, make a right. Hell nah, nigga, to get to my doctrine, you gotta come up the stairs and make a right. You gotta don't worry about them just my neighbors. I got a doctrine, nigga, alone with no partners. I got 17 neighbors on this damn strip. Hell no, nigga. I don't want no damn doctrine, nigga. I'm just Omari. I'm just fire as hell by myself. I just teach shit. You gotta have a damn doctrine. I don't have to have no damn doctrine, nigga. I don't want one. Talking about some cult leader. Cult leader don't let you go no motherfucking where. Please vacate. Please. Nigga, I grew up playing by my damn self. Shit, nigga, I be overwhelmed. Everybody want to motherfucking talk to me all the motherfucking time, all at once and shit. And you know, when you a teacher, everybody got questions, all at the same time. Nigga, as soon as you walk in, I got some questions. Hell nah, nigga, you got questions. I got biological needs. Can I use the bathroom? Nigga, the fuck can I use the bathroom? How the fuck I'm gonna have a doctrine and I use the bathroom? Nigga, the fuck? I gotta take a break from being a holy being. Hell nah, nigga. I ain't no damn cult leader, nigga. I'm scared to say leader out this motherfucker. I don't even gotta do all that. It don't even gotta be like that, nigga. We could just link up. Can we do that? Damn. He said culture, nigga. I don't even got no culture to give you, nigga. That's Dr. York. Nope, that ain't my shit, nigga. That's Dr. York. Hey, he changed the culture every Tuesday, so you can't even say that's his shit, nigga. This shit is up in the air. It's up for discussion, nigga. Niggas is inside the culture debating on whether or not it's the culture, nigga. I don't know what y'all got going on. I fuck with Dr. York. I just fuck with bro. If bro say it's Turkey Day tomorrow, nigga, it's Turkey Day tomorrow, cause I fuck with bro. Nigga, I ain't finna get attached to that damn Turkey Day knowing this nigga gonna say here tomorrow. Fuck you saying, nigga? Hell nah, nigga be mad at me and shit cause I ain't under the damn spells. Nigga, I don't know what you talking about. My master teacher rolls me up out that shit y'all got going on, nigga. He don't want everybody to be doing the same damn thing, nigga. I don't want to be doing the same damn thing as every motherfucking body. What community do you have everybody doing the same thing? When you go down there to Bankhead, is everybody a plumber? That's what I thought. Nigga, get your ass out my damn face. Talk about some... Hell nah, nigga. Everything motherfuckers be, I don't even want to be that shit. You ever saw a motherfucker eating and just want to fast forever? Like, food be looking good as hell till the motherfucker eating it. Like, what the fuck is you doing? I'm just eating. I mean, but damn. Nigga don't even be doing shit, but who the fuck told this nigga to just start eating this shit? The food look good as hell, macaroni. Here go this nigga. Hey, man, stop doing that shit, nigga. Stop moving your damn mouth. You do the same shit, but you hate to see a motherfucker just, what the fuck is this nigga doing, man? Shit, every time we did a mash fast, cause I rolled past, seen a motherfucker chewing some shit. Hey, we ain't eating no damn more. Hey, man, that's the weirdest shit human beings do, eat. That shit be looking weird as hell, man. Your whole personality go out the window when a nigga start chewing this shit. That shit don't even look like him no more. The fuck, nigga? Can you fix your damn face? Shit, nigga. Yeah, I don't even want to be human sometimes just because other motherfuckers doing it. Fuck, I look like being in the cult or riding the cult. Nigga, I ain't part of no damn cult. I grew up in a bunch of cultures. Nigga, I grew up in a bunch of cultures. Nigga, you can't call me no cult member. Which one? Nigga, I got artifacts from every damn walk of life I done walked. Nigga, I been every motherfucker. I been everywhere, man. Hell no, nigga. You know, trying to call me a cult member. Shit, nigga, I ain't no damn. I can't be no damn cult member, nigga. I ain't no motherfucking where. Shit, nigga. I ain't running no damn car. I ain't got no time for all that stupid shit. I be looking into that shit too. What make a damn cult? Don't none of that shit apply to me. I'm like, what the hell these folks talking about? Nigga, the hell? Shit, whatever the cult leader says goes. Man, what the hell? Hey, niggas disagree with me all the damn time. The fuck is you talking about? I don't exile niggas because they got a disagreement, and I don't keep motherfuckers out this bitch. If they want to come around me, they can still come around me. How many niggas you know let a motherfucker say all this extra ass shit and still come around? Nigga, I researched that shit. They said as soon as motherfucker go against the grain, they turn everybody against them. I'm like, nigga, I don't do that stupid shit. Ain't nobody got time for that. Man, I don't be going for everything, man. Look, I don't know what it is, though, because shit, nigga, if this shit ain't no cult, then I don't know what the fuck it is, because a lot of that shit, I'm like, I can see why motherfuckers be saying certain shit, because, nigga, it be hard as hell to explain this shit when motherfuckers say, so what are you? You got to change the subject strategically and shit, nigga. So what are you? I am motivated and inspired. What the fuck is you talking about, nigga? I start using attributes. Shit, nigga. It hard to tell a motherfucker what a new hobby is. Hey, man, Malachi on some other shit, nigga. You want to know the joke, too? The nigga said, only I know what it means. Oh, appreciate that. Send me out into the damn world with a motherfucker answer list of 0. So what is it? You know, then how the fuck we supposed to say that shit and read folk, nigga? The hell, that's how I know the nigga just watching this shit. It been a whole game. So what is Nuapu? Only he knows. Hell nah, nigga. Nigga just start saying shit. Nah, nigga, I ain't part of no damn cult, nigga. I came up in a bunch of degrees. I'm sharp as hell because of Malachi York. But some of these folk be making this shit seem a little different, bro. I wish y'all chill out with all that extra shit some damn time. I love the OSL niggas, but they be doing all that extra ass shit sometime, man. Hey, man, stop sending me that video with these niggas just standing in the damn line looking straight and shit. That shit extra hell, man. Make them niggas do shit. The fuck? Hell nah, nigga. I love the OSL niggas, bro. I love them niggas, but they can wear a damn t-shirt sometimes, nigga. Shit, nigga. Hell nah. I can say this shit because I come from this shit. You motherfuckers can't talk shit. Haven't tuned in a minute. How's everything been? I've been great. I've been doing my best. I've been transforming. Shit, I just did 250 push-ups before I got on here to talk to y'all about to finish. Do some more and get back in motion. Shit, I just want to come in and talk to y'all, build with y'all. Hey, man, y'all do be careful, though, because there's a lot of online cults going on, man. That shit, I'm really doing my... You don't just get to say shit to me, and I'm not going to research this shit. Motherfucker said, and you, phase 1, you leading the cult. I said, I ain't leading no motherfucking cult. I got off here and said, am I leading? Shit, nigga, I went and checked myself in. I got to go see. I want to make sure. I ain't never wanted to do that stupid shit, so shit, nigga, I went to go check just to see. Hell nah, like... All that shit these folks saying. They gotta live with you. Everything you say goes. Who? Man, nigga, the female run this shit around here. I just be talking. I let the women run this shit, nigga. Fuck everything we eat, the women come up with. What we doing for the day, I talk to them off the side. You ain't even see me talk to them. I talk to them. So look, I was thinking about this. What y'all got to say? I don't give a fuck what a nigga say. Man, supposed to plan all this shit. Man, nigga, they said man plans and God laughs. I think God is women. You don't be hearing it though, cause niggas be too busy damn talking. Niggas, we be planting some shit and they just get the, what the fuck was that? Nobody heard that? Hey. So what y'all having to eat? Well, hey, I was thinking some deviled eggs, some damn, some fucking beans and some goddamn, salad. Oh, okay, y'all got it? Y'all good? Yeah, we good. I say, hey, niggas, don't fuck this up. The females don't think we can do this shit. It's on us. I sit these niggas, I say, hey, yo, y'all get this, and Phil. Yeah, my friend. I said, Phil, you get the deviled eggs, nigga. That shit was serious as hell, nigga. We was in the huddle. Break. Motherfucker went to the motherfucking store. I'm walking around my chest out. I can't wait till niggas show that we know what the fuck we doing. Niggas came back. Niggas had everything, right? Niggas had the lemonade. Niggas had the beans. Niggas had the salad shit. And here come this nigga Phil. I couldn't believe Phil. That nigga Phil said, I didn't see any deviled eggs. I said, what the fuck is you talking about, nigga? What you mean you ain't seen no deviled eggs? I sent you to the motherfucking store to get some deviled eggs, nigga. That mean get some eggs. Get some mayonnaise, nigga. Get some mustard, nigga. Get some relish, nigga. Get some ingredients, nigga. Get... Oh, it ain't no nigga. They looking at me now. I look over the sister just standing there in the huddle by the sink and shit, looking that same way. You know that way where they lean a little bit with their arms crossed over their little stomach and shit, just looking at you. I don't give a fuck about you leaning with your arms crossed over your stomach looking at me. We can do shit. I said, get back in line, Phil. Just get back in line. God damn it. Then I just started letting the women do it, nigga. I can't. It ain't even that I don't think we can't. I just can't suffer another embarrassment like these niggas put me through about that deviled egg shit, nigga. I said, get your stupid. Ah! What's so crazy is because that nigga said he ain't see no deviled eggs, that's the only reason why I know what the fuck he was supposed to go do. If you would have sent me to get some deviled eggs, I would have probably came back and said, I ain't see no damn deviled eggs. What, you want me to go to Kroger? You want me to go to Kroger, see if they got some, why you looking like that, leaning with your arms across your stomach and shit, looking at me. We can't do shit, but look, that's why I let the women run this shit, nigga. Look at all the women talking about some shit have told me. Hell nah, nigga. And they just sit there and watch us just not do shit right. That shit crazy. I know what it is. I done figured it out. We the entertainment, nigga. They don't have shit else to talk about but niggas. So shit, nigga, we gotta do shit for them to talk about. So they gonna ask us to do shit. Just cause they know we can't do it right. And when they gather, they gonna talk about how niggas can't do shit right. I'm like, man, what the hell? I'm running the damn cult, nigga. I don't know. Shit, and we got 49 leaders around this bitch. This is a different ass cult. This some different shit, nigga. 49 leaders with 49 doctrines and 49 eating schedules and 49 meal plans and 49. Nah, nigga. Shit, nigga. We figuring some shit out. Leave us the fuck alone, nigga. We still gotta eat, damn. Shit, nigga. And don't nobody wanna just keep figuring shit out on no damn phone call, nigga. Sometimes niggas come together. Damn. What the fuck? Shit, nigga, I can't be playing with these people. That's why I say, man, just keep watching this shit. This shit get interesting. I looked at all that. I'm like, I ain't running no damn. I went to go check to make sure, nigga. I'm not playing. I'm not exaggerating. I'll sit there and listen to what they say. I'll look at all the YouTube videos of what they say a code is. I'm making sure some shit don't check off. And if it do, I'm going to go back and change that shit. Say, hell no, hey, look, we ain't doing this no more. Why? Man, don't ask no questions. But then I'm going to have to go back and answer and say, no, because they said if you say don't ask no questions, that make you call. Go ahead, what was your question? Shit, nigga. Real life, nigga just came up to me and said they mama thought they was in a damn cult. I said, what your mama say? They think I'm in a cult and saying, you know, they don't want this. I said, hey man, look, hear what you tell them. Tell them you ain't even with this shit no more. Tell them you focus on your music, you you ain't even doing this shit no more. Anybody got time for that extra shit, nigga. Hell nah, nigga. I told him this on us, nigga. I ain't say your mother is trying to hold you back. Hell nah, nigga. Hey, tell your mama you want to spend more time with her. Shit, nigga. I ain't gonna say too much, but it was because of who the fuck was telling me that shit, nigga. Shit, nigga, who telling me that shit? Hey, nigga, you can't be telling me this damn shit, nigga. It's niggas around this motherfucker could be telling me this shit, but you can't walk up and tell me that shit, nigga. You gonna have helicopters landing in my damn basement. They sit for they damn people, nigga. You can't say that shit. Hey, man, whoa your damn voice. Go spend time with your mother. What are you talking about, nigga? Ain't nobody got time for this stupid shit. Shit, nigga, I watched Nature Boy, nigga. I saw when the fuck they started sending motherfuckers is when that motherfucker got on there. Shit, hell nah, nigga. I said, hold on. I'm gonna break the damn cycle around this motherfucker. I promise you that. Shit, I ain't gonna do it. Yeah, hell nah, nigga, go spend time with your mother and tell them you're not going to be in. What the fuck is you saying? Shit, nigga, this shit ain't no damn game. 11 Alive News. They'll show about that one motherfucker. Shit, they don't care nothing about what niggas do. As soon as you start involving other motherfuckers, they say, what you guys doing over there? Shit. Your mama said what? Nah, go spend more time with your mother. Tell her you ain't got no time to be the likes of us. This shit, nigga, he'll tell you, I'll tell you the motherfucking truth, nigga. I don't give a damn. Hard to explain to people you working on yourself and you building and everybody, you know what I'm saying? I know what be going on because of how y'all be answering the damn questions too, nigga. Y'all need to be thinking about how the fuck you answer questions, nigga. Shit, nigga. Y'all be scaring people. Make people think the worst. They don't even know what y'all saying. Y'all just be saying shit. Answer questions normal, nigga. So what you getting into? I'm a supreme being initiate. That's all they heard. You ain't even listen. You ain't even know how this shit go, nigga. I'm being initiated. This all they see is cloaks, nigga. We don't even wear those. Soon as they hear initiation, nigga, all they think is cloaks and blood, nigga. Hey, come up with a different word, nigga. Say you going through some shit. I'm going through something. And my people there to help me. Don't even say my people, nigga. Use friends or some shit. Y'all don't understand that, nigga. Shit, say you gonna go see your damn friends, nigga. Damn. I'm gonna go see my friends in Georgia. Shit, hell yeah. See how safe that sound, nigga? This shit safe as fuck. But y'all making this shit sound dangerous to the motherfucker, nigga. Y'all making this shit sound dangerous. What y'all do? Shit, we were there. We was all sleeping in one little room. And we had to help find the treasure. If we didn't find the treasure, then we had to sleep outside. And then we was... all they see is your pants leg rolled up and you digging in the dirt in the rain, nigga. This is skulls. Let me call the police. I know skulls. Shit, nigga. Hey, man, I'm just start talking to niggas regular, man. I ain't even... This shit crazy. Yeah, I wonder why I don't be running no damn cameras, nigga. The fuck, nigga? They don't get shit. Ain't nobody go through no damn initiations. All the people out here don't even know they a part of a damn cult. It's called Christianity. Or it's called Islam. Nigga, they say that's the way of life. Motherfucker don't even be in shape. You start getting in shape together, nigga say something ain't right. Okay, let's change the setting. Now we in the gym. What you think of it now? I think y'all are powerful black men. It's the same damn thing. We just in a different building. People stupid, bro. I had to learn that. Shit, nigga. Yeah. But yeah, all jokes aside, man, listen. No more Jesus games. Wake up. Wake up quick. All right, shake it off. If you're in pursuit of the truth, really pursue it. Ask your pastors questions. Ask your imams questions. Ask your reverends questions. Ask your spiritual leaders, your gurus, your sheikhs. Ask these people questions. If they cannot answer them, then you're presented with the opportunity to walk away from them, because why you need them if they can't answer the question? You might as well go out and find the answer yourself. That's what I'm saying. Don't nobody gotta damn live with me. Please don't. Don't nobody call me God. I don't do all that extra ass shit. Nigga, I'm on Instagram in my room. Nigga, I'm not in no palace some damn where. You know what I'm saying? Being fanned and shit. Nigga, I'm laying on my motherfucking floor. Hell I look like. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, we all figuring this shit out together. No, nigga, I'm not trying to tell you that the world evil and you about to save an evil world. No, nigga, I'm not saying it's no UFO coming to get you. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying, don't that shit sound interesting as fuck? Let's see, nigga. You can't even say that. So you not a guy? No, nigga, I'm not no motherfucking guy, man. You can't say stupid shit. I'm not saying you said stupid shit, but I'm saying, man, I ain't no damn guy. Hell, nigga, I'm a motherfucking human being. Yeah. All of you are gods. Then shit, nigga, everybody is. But are you one? Hell no. You don't get it. You can say everybody is. But if you say you are, nigga, now you a cult leader. That's how the fuck. Nigga, I can sit there and read that shit all day, nigga. They still gonna lock my dumb ass up. If I say, here's Psalm chapter 82, verse 6. All of you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Are you a god? Hell no, I ain't no god. You ain't hear what I just read? All of y'all is gods, nigga. I ain't no motherfucking god. I'm the only motherfucking human being on the planet. Shit, I'll be able to go home. Y'all motherfuckers trying to get me locked the fuck down. Shit. Are you a guy? Hell no. Fuck you talking, nigga? I know the fucking pattern by now, nigga. The hell? Shit. You don't think the black man is God? Hell no. I don't even know who the black man is. Who is the black man? Anybody met him? Who the fuck is that? Do you think the white man is the devil? Nigga, if I don't know who the black man is, who the fuck is the white man? What make the fuck think I know who that nigga is? Nigga, I don't know. Shit. So are you an alien? Hell no, nigga. I'm a human being just like you. I was born here just like you. Nigga, wasn't nothing special about my motherfucking conception or birth. Nigga, I'm just regular. Huh. So you don't believe in aliens? Hell no, nigga. I don't got no reason to believe in no motherfucking aliens. Ain't no motherfucking aliens came and seen me, nigga. I ain't never seen no motherfucking extraterrestrials pick me up out my motherfucking room, nigga. That ain't never happened to me. You might got me confused with all the motherfuckers in Nevada and Nebraska, nigga. I'm out here in Atlanta, Georgia, nigga. The fuck I look like with some extraterrestrial, nigga. We got bills to pay around this motherfucker, nigga. I ain't no damn extraterrestrial. Who told you that? Who said that? Shit, nigga, go get them. I can tell you right now, they lying like a motherfucker. I ain't never said no stupid shit like that. Well, what's this green light? Nigga, I don't know what the fuck the green light was. That shit was an atmospheric perturbation, nigga. That's all I know. It was lightning. It could have been a motherfucking transformer exploded. For all I know, don't that be green? Shit, it could have been an earthquake we ain't know about. That caused green interference in the motherfucking atmosphere. Nigga, the green light is some random shit. I don't know what the fuck happened. That was a coincidence. Nigga, I don't know nothing about that. Huh. Shit, nigga. I don't know who done told y'all, man. Hey, man, let me get my motherfucking phone call. Nigga, I don't know nothing about this shit. So you're not telepathic? Hell no, I ain't telepathic. If I'm telepathic, how the fuck I ain't answer that question before the fuck you answered? Nigga, I knew it would have been in your brain if you was not no telepathic. Nigga, I'm just a nigga. Nigga, I need to get my motherfucking phone call and get back home. Nigga, I don't know what y'all got going on. Nigga, I ain't running no motherfucking cult. Nigga, shit, nigga, I don't believe none of that shit, nigga. You believe in God? Yeah. So you don't think you God? Hell no, nigga, I just told you there's only one true God. I don't know about none of that shit. Can I get my damn phone call? Shit, nigga. You can get your phone call. You have to answer one more question. All right, go ahead. Hit me with it. I don't give a fuck. Hit me with a question. I'm going to get my phone call. I told you I'm going to answer the question. Any question you got? Are you still going to say free Dr. Malachi York? Go ahead and lock me up, man. Fuck y'all nigga, man. Go ahead and lock me up, nigga. I don't give a fuck about that stupid shit, nigga. Fuck y'all nigga, man. And I'm an extraterrestrial, bitch. I don't give a fuck, nigga. And we gonna blow that bitch. You can get us. Get them niggas up there. Get your fucking hands off me, nigga. I'll blow your fucking face off, nigga. I'll punch a hole in your soul, bitch. You ever had your hole punched in your soul up? All the us guys, you motherfuckers is fucking germs. Fuck you talking about? Hey, shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Yeah, I spit on you. Add it, ho. That's assault. You want me to spell it? I'll write it. Fuck you talking about? Shit, nigga. Shit, nigga, I'll be a cult leader that day. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, they'll never get me to deny the man. I don't give a fuck. Lock me up now. Before you even finish your sentence, it just smell like you finna ask me to go out there and turn against bro. Nah, hey, you can kill me. No, go ahead. There go the gun right there, right? Kill me. They won't even know. Just say I did it myself. Say I attacked you. I'm not going for that stupid shit, nigga. The fuck? Shit, nigga, I deny everything else, nigga. Don't get me shit. Don't get me started. I don't know about no extraterrestrials, nigga. This shit regular. Soon they get to walking away. Hey, man, these people stupid. They're the same human beings since the beginning, nigga. They don't know shit about nothing. We finna bomb this bitch. Call the extraterrestrials right then and there. Hey, God, pull up. I seen enough. Me just my luck, but they gonna tap my shit. Pull back around. Yeah, nigga. Y'all, man, hey, man. You wanna know what's so beautiful about it? A wise man here, one word, overstand two. Y'all know me, long as y'all know me, you ain't seen me claim none of this shit. However, motherfucker done came around me and y'all done seen some shit you can't explain, huh? That's all I'ma say. I don't even be doing all that. I don't do none of that extra shit. Cause like, nigga, what the fuck you talking about, nigga? However, come around me though. And you gonna see some shit that you can't explain. And don't look at me. I'm gonna be looking at shit just like you. So now you see what I deal with. Nigga, all kind of shit be happening around me. Nigga, this shit, I'm a walking phenomenon. But I can't claim some shit I don't know. They protected me from that. Nigga, I don't know. I got plausible deniability. Nigga, I don't fucking remember. I think that's why it work how it work. Nigga, because I don't remember. They know I probably would have told this shit by now. So you're not extraterrestrial. I don't fucking remember, nigga. I don't know. Shit, no. Even if they tell me, nigga, this late in the game, I ain't telling y'all shit because I know how it go. I know how this shit go. If they tell me right now who I am and I'm an extraterrestrial, all this shit, I ain't telling nobody. I'm going to come on here just like it regular. We're going to talk about some other shit like Jay-Z and Drake. All right, boy, I'm not stupid. Y'all kill all the prophets. What the fuck make you think a nigga trying to rush to be known as a prophet? I be getting scared every time I say some shit and it happen. You have to understand because that means you ain't guessing. So a nigga just be talking, then I say some shit. And then that shit happen, nigga, that shit be motherfucking terrifying, nigga. Who the fuck heard me? Then here y'all come. Hey, remember you said this? I'm like, yeah. Shit, nigga, I ain't in no rush to be no damn prophet. They kill all the prophets. The fuck I'm gonna rush to be one of them for? They kill all the angels. They killed Jesus, nigga. They killed the Son of God, nigga. That's supposed to be that nigga, and they killed him. But, hey, bro, I'm one of y'all. Don't kill me before I finish, god damn. They think they figure you out. I know who you are. That shit be getting terrifying when a nigga say that shit. Mm-hmm. Is it better to believe or is it better to know? You decide. You decide. That's subjective. You decide. All right, any questions? We joked. We went over the truth, the doctrines, the scriptures, made comparisons. We went into the world, da-da-da-da. Any questions? With everything y'all heard, everything you were able to take from it, do you have any questions before we get up out of here? It was a real good lie, man. Don't be out here telling nobody I'm no damn extraterrestrial just because you believe that, nigga. You trying to get a nigga clip. Don't be out here trying to tell people that. Tell them I'm just a nigga you know that say interesting shit and you look into it for your damn self, nigga. Don't be. Can your name be added back into the book of life? I don't know if there is a book of life. I don't know if your name can be taken out. If there is a book of life, in accordance to what is taught, yes, it can be blotted out and it can be written back in. But that's just the list. So whatever you will be doing, that's what will cause for them to pay attention to you. You see? Is Baba the Mighty High? I ain't never heard the Mighty High. Are you a Freemason? No, I'm not a Freemason because I'm still on Earth. I'm a Mason, but I'm not a Freemason. I'll be free when I get up out of here, if I do. Is Baba the Most High? Is that what you mean to ask? As far as I know, Dr. York is the Most High, but not how they try to say Most High in religion. Like, he the master teacher that I know. I don't know nobody that surpassed his degrees. You know what I'm saying? Order the Seas, any books or scrolls on that? Of the seas? You mean like the Dead Sea Scrolls? Are you yeah. Did Michael Jackson ever cross paths with Dr. York? Not that I know of. Would it be best to just focus on bettering self? To just focus on bettering self? I don't know. You can't ask me that. I can't tell you whether or not it's best for you to focus on bettering self. That has to be something that's innate. I can't make that decision or give you that answer. You have to know that for you. What's the science of the disco ball? You can come up with the science of the disco ball. I'll say it looks similar to some of the illustrations and representations of what they were referring to as Nibiru or the mother plane. You might find it in the electrical experimenter from back in like 1910, where they were talking about it. Do messages move like the wind as whisper in your head? It can. Technologically, is it going into the future, is going into the future, basically getting closer to the past? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that. The voice crying out in the wilderness was Malachi as the role of John the Baptist. From my observation, yes. That would mean that Jesus would be who came after John the Baptist. Now, this is why I be leaving that shit alone, nigga. I don't know. Because who the fuck... nigga, who the fuck is Jesus? Nigga, I ain't in it. So if he John the Baptist, which he did say that he was the voice crying out in the wilderness and they heard it, then shit, nigga, he said Jesus coming, nigga. That was 1992, nigga. Hey, nigga, it could be a motherfucking Jesus around this motherfucker. Ain't no telling. Shit. Where can I find an online copy of the Holy Tablets? You go to Scribd, SCRIBD, Scribd.com, and you look up the Reptilian Disclosure Project, if they still have it on there. During the semen retention, when that energy build up and you feel the pain, any advice on what to do, go run. Go run. Do your steps. Who he get his knowledge from? What knowledge? Which part? That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to open your brain. Which part? We good, yeah. When will they release Dr. Malachi Z? I don't know that. I don't have the answer for that. I don't know. Is Nuwapi a nation that's recognized, just not advertised? It depends. Some people recognize, some people don't. Where should I start if I want to quantum physics? If you want to quantum physics, you can start doing your research on YouTube. Just start looking at what they're talking about in their forums. Not just YouTube videos. I'm talking about YouTube forums where they discuss their research. So you ain't just getting no 3-minute clip. Start there, then you can register for Khan Academy or different universities online. Do you think Dr. York says there are boundless universes? Back in the day, that was more Islam. But he was also working it into the science. So boundless universe is just speaking about all the creation that is unknown to man. Perv and Ned need to be fully automatic. Okay. The gumbo of theology and metaphysics. All right. Do you think SR helps activate your higher self? SR, you mean, what's SR? Like shroom? I don't know what you mean by that. I'll take a few more questions, y'all. I ain't trying to rush through them, but I'll take a few more. And then y'all do your own research. Don't just take my word and then be like, okay, he said it. Y'all go look into this stuff yourself. What about zero energy? What about zero energy? If it's real, then it's something that could elevate human beings as far as their class and civilization. But I don't know whether or not it's real. I've heard about it. They said they can run certain vehicles on it and fuel and power certain villages. I haven't seen it. Activating your higher self for Lucas Music. Yeah, if you mean your critical thinking self, your self that doesn't cave under pressure, because you have to understand, it'll be your primitive instinct to release semen. All right? Oftentimes, most times it happens for us men in the AM or in the nighttime. All right? Where we're really letting our critical thinking guard down. And it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that there's a natural cycle for you to reproduce. You're choosing to not just lean into that natural cycle. For example, if you're out and you're with a female and you in your brain are thinking, I could sleep with this girl or I could sleep with these women, but I'm not going to do it because I got this going on, this going on, this going on, and I don't have time to be doing that. You're already a part of like the 2% of men, because most men, they only operate off their primitive instinct to reproduce, but they're not always reproducing or trying to reproduce. But that doesn't mean that kick that causes for you to want to reproduce isn't still there. That testosterone is still there. All right. That natural instinct for most males to want to go out and have sex is still there. When you consciously decide to go against that, then yeah, that is your higher self. If you're speaking in terms of your frontal lobe, you see, because that is what is required for that type of will, that type of critical thinking, and that type of boss mentality to activate in that moment. Not just about when you want to think ahead, say, when I get to this club, I'm going in here to get a drink and I'm leaving. And then you walk in and you see the lady in the red dress. You know what I'm saying? And now you're not leaving. You're leaving with the lady in the red dress 5 hours later. You done spent all your money, all this stuff. You see, that's the prefrontal cortex shutting down to allow the limbic system to activate, the reptilian brain to activate, the lustful self, which is primitive. It's not bad. It's just primitive, or what they call lower. If you subscribe to that, then yeah. Semen retention is not about holding your seed. Semen retention is daring to go against your natural instinct to release seed, you see, or to reproduce. When you dare to do that, that means you become less and less inclined to act on it. If you're less and less inclined to act on it, then it means if women come around you, you can walk past the women, speak to the women, and not be up under them and lusting after them or trying to put on for them and all this stuff. You know people that are around you, they'll do that. You understand? Women come around, everything changes up. The way they stand change up, all of this stuff. You do this naturally. It doesn't make you a bad person. You just do it naturally. But in the event that you're really just locking in on you and becoming the better you, it'll be the other way around. You'll come around and women will shift and switch and da-da-da-da and bend to wherever you are, however you're moving. Now, don't think that only goes one way. If an animalistic man enters into an environment and he is in his animalistic self, what they're calling alpha, he will also attract women. You see that? And they will also turn their attention to him, and it will be in the primitive realm. And the women probably won't even know that that's what's happening. So the male who's in position to be able to choose that side of himself actively and consciously, you'll have to know also that that doesn't mean abandoning your animalistic self. It doesn't mean abandoning your primitive self or your body. It means controlling it. You become the most interesting being in the room because you control it. It means you can be there in shape, able to express yourself, able to move around and be that guy or that man or that nigga without falling or succumbing to the presence of women or anybody. You see, especially in this frame, women, which will mean you're choosing a mate to reproduce with. But human beings have a different system set up. You don't reproduce with every woman you meet. Your wiring is supposed to show you why that's there. Because if you're too busy focused on reproduction, you're never going to build. And human beings need to build, okay? Because you're very vulnerable in the environments that you're in. You're vulnerable. You need to build a house. If you're never able to build a house because you're always trying to reproduce, the environment will kill you. If you're always trying to reproduce, you won't care that the lion is approaching and about to pounce on you because you're too busy trying to reproduce. Some animals will get locked in and reproduce and know that a threat is near and will choose to continue to try to reproduce as opposed to survive the threat. Same with eating. Some animals will sit and eat as the threat approaches and die. No situational awareness, none of that. They will just die when they're more focused on their, you know what I'm saying? So the point would be, it's not just semen retention, because you can do semen retention daily and still release daily. You get what I'm saying? Meaning you could get up in the AM and not release and go all throughout your day and not release and then release at the end of the day. And you still practice retention as opposed to you get up and you release. Then in the middle of the day, you're bored, so you go release. And then at the end of the night, you're bored, then you release. Then you get up in the middle of the night, you're bored, you release. And you've been released 5-6 times in a 24-hour period. Okay? Training your brain not to just have the release as the primitive instinct to reproduce, but to receive of the dopamine that comes with the release. Now, why do we do it? Oftentimes it's because excess cortisol, you're stressed out, you're not motivated, all these other things, which is why motivation needs to be replaced with what? Discipline. Now, you should just do it. Just do the discipline thing. Do discipline for 7 days. After 7 days of doing discipline in anything that you're doing, working out, or they don't have to do nothing with semen retention, you'll start seeing results. Because people don't oftentimes get instant gratification and instant results, they'll stop and fall back into old habits. Yeah, I practice semen retention. You'll fall back into old habits. That's why the brothers asked me, I think. You fall back into the old habits, and then next thing you know, you're back into doing what would cause for you to be able to easily escape the feeling of stress and all of that. And I've been there. So don't think that I don't still go through, because we still men. We still go through it where it's like, nigga, I'm stressed. And you know what you can do just to get the stress up off you. But it's not a good habit, and it's not a good resolve, because even though it's there, it is too close to the addiction realm. So while you just trying to get the stress off of you, next thing you know, you're activating addictive patterns in the brain. Now you have to do it, or if you're not, you're irritated, you're clumsy, you know what I'm saying? You're upset. You see, when you want to be sharp, you have to discipline yourself. You see, so it's not the easiest route to go, but just know why it's there. It's the same thing with fasting and all of that. It's not going to be easy, but it's there for a reason. Does semen retention activate the Kundalini energy? It depends on what you mean by Kundalini energy. If you mean that you're breathing a certain way, you're becoming more aware of yourself and aware of what you're feeling, and because of that, the spine is rearranging itself property-wise, yes. The nervous system is rearranging itself, yes. The better way to say that would be it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, okay? That allows for you to channel, quote unquote, that breath or energy and circulate that blood healthily. So a more up-to-date way of saying activating Kundalini energy that you can actually research and benefit from would be parasympathetic nervous system. All right, in conjunction with or as opposed to sympathetic nervous system. So you know rest or stress, because that is the dark and the light. Whether you're resting or you're stressing. Are you at peace or are you at dis-ease? I'm sure that makes sense. All right, one more question. Do you feel like after 3 months there's no point, or it still has benefits? I'm not going to answer that because I don't know everybody's health situation. If you notice, I don't come out here and make semen retention videos. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm not to be held liable for what's going on with that, and they're still studying that. What I can say is no matter how long you decide to do semen retention, if the purpose of semen retention is just to not release semen, you're going to go through hell. If the purpose of semen retention is to get in touch with your critical thinking self, all right, your volitional self, evolutional self that goes based off your will as opposed to your instinctual self that goes off your desire, then you're not going to experience hell. You're going to experience difficulty that will be eased over time. Then you're going to know, okay, I don't have to release every day. Maybe I can release on this day, or maybe I can release this month or this point in time. Maybe you set a date where you do release, but you'll get further and further from the releasing aspect of it, and you'll get closer and closer to realizing what it's actually for. And that's just what comes with more mastery. When you realize what it's for, you're like, this is for a baby. You see? I'm not telling nobody to go have babies or do none of this extra stuff. I'm not telling nobody really to do anything other than to think about what is being said. And it must be important enough for you to listen to it and think about it and ponder about it because you're here. So think about what's being said, and then you apply it in the way in which you apply it. But just know, it ain't about just not having an ejaculation, family, because you're going to stress. All right? It's about finding healthier ways to deal with stress. Finding healthier ways to deal with pressure. Finding healthier ways to deal with being met with challenging situations. That way, not only are you working on that, you're working on your body, yourself, you're exercising, doing more things as opposed to just laying in bed and succumbing to, no pun intended, thoughts of I'm going to ease this over with instant gratification. It's just not going to get you further. Now, I have to say this loosely, which is why I don't really want to keep on these types of conversations. You can be someone who ejaculates daily and still functions, still healthy, still getting things done. But I can't really push that because it still would lead you to dependency. Again, so every now and again, you'll hear me speak about it. But the main point will be because I just want people to think about how you can become addicted even to things that are a part of your own biological makeup. And addiction, regardless of how they kick it, is hell. It is hell because you're falsifying relief. It's not real relief. And over time, it wears on you to the point where if you're not using it, right, you'll be out of whack and stressed, and it'll cause problems for you further down the line. All right. Now, one more thing. Just because a nigga on the internet with his leg crossed over his knee, right, sitting in a chair, okay, calling himself Awake This or whoever, that don't mean they really understand what they talking about. All right? A lot of these people don't even really be doing semen retention. It just be niggas be talking, and they don't want people to think they ejaculate because they think it makes them look weak because the internet. All right? Don't end up hating your own biology or fighting you for being you as a human being without understanding what you are human for, which is survival and reproduction. So your body flushes out and recycles, and niggas been doing what they've been doing for 20 damn years in their life. Some people, depending on how old you are. And there's still enough semen to go around. So all that, you gonna run out shit. I don't know where niggas be getting that from. I think the main thing is, nigga, just don't become dependent on orgasm. All right? Build something. Build more things. Don't get complacent. All right? That's the smartest, wisest way I could put it to you. Other than that, man, niggas out here acting and kicking it, bro. These niggas out here fucking off, you know what I'm saying? Planting seeds, whoop. These niggas not really doing that. If you're going to do it, you know why you doing it, as opposed to just the shit being a trend. And now you really ain't getting shit done because you depressed. You done fell into a fucking rehab facility and you ain't even active in it. It's like, nah, what is it for you? What are you going to do when it comes to you? You see what I'm saying? And if you decide to do it, know what it's for. All right? Learning how to not be dependent on anything. Dependent. It doesn't mean you can never do a thing. But if you're dependent on it, yeah, it'll be hell. All right? It was good talking to y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace in the lab. It's truly wonderful. I shook divine love.